don't think my camera's working. Hold on. I can fix this. Don't worry. Elgato needs to get their things working. Hold on. I don't think anyone's here, which is a relief. Better. Oh, there it is. Okay. And then, does this work? It does not. Dang it. Hold on. I forgot to check all this before I started. Oh, that's better. Okay. Okay, there we go. All right. Okay, I am finally ready. Hello, everybody. Thank you for your patience. I've been having, various technical difficulties, as one does. Yeah, excited to be here today. Guess I could be using this scene because I'm talking here. We're just chatting. Not really. I'm in the Makers and Crafting tag. But either way, today we're working on another client build, an Idobao ID80 crystal. Which I believe just came out. Gasket mount board from Idobao. I think it ran through Drop, I want to say. Yeah, I'm excited to be here. One thing before we get started, in case you want, if you're watching this on YouTube, thank you, appreciate it. Thanks for being here. Thanks for all my recent subscribers. I have a decent amount of people coming through lately. If you're watching this, but this won't be as relevant to you most likely. If you're watching this on Twitch live right now, not a VOD, check this out. Hopefully this actually works. Yeah, okay. Monstergears.com, Sangio65. It's a board that has been very well reviewed. Elvin's built one. Tim Keelis built one. It's been around, right? We know about this board. Currently in stock. I don't know how many there are, but they got them. 3 colors. Gray, white, green. And yeah, just I don't think I'm going to buy one. It's $390 plus. So, the white one's over 400 plus shipping. I think it's $40 to the US. So anyways, if you're interested in that, it's available right now. Tim, I haven't used one, but Tim highly recommended it, said it's a good value for what you're paying. So anyways, just a little public service announcement to all of you in keyboard land who might be interested in this. Yeah, let's see if this other, does this work? It does work. Okay, cool. Anyways, that's not what we're doing today. But another thing that I kind of want to show off is something that I got in recently. I had $15 in drop credit. You know how they give you credit for buying stuff, kind of kicking around, and not a huge fan of any of their keycap sets or anything. So eventually I was like, well, you know, I do want to design my own, but I think it would be kind of neat to get the Evil Artisan case that they had. Cheap, you know, $30 thing, had $15 in credit, so I got it for half price basically. But yeah, I've started to acquire more and more artisans. You can see the top half here is all GUI Keys artisans because I love GUI Keys. This is the Modern Dolch Artisan, if you want to call it that. It's the special, it's from GMK, but it's like the special edition cap that came with Modern Dolch 2 as kind of like a bonus deal, I guess, because it took so long. And then all my Rama works. Just got this one in today. It's the RamaWorks Rama Burgers Artisan, which I think is gorgeous. It's a little burger robot kind of guy. So love that. And then yeah, just various other artisans that I have. These 3 are cat profile, and these 3 are cherry profile. So and then I think this one and this one and this one I was sent for free by GUI. These were part of a fundraiser for Louisiana hurricane relief, and then this one was kind of like just a thank you kind of deal that he sent me. I can't quite remember, but it was just like an extra that he sent me, so I thought that's pretty neat. But these are the GMK panels. I don't know that the rest are collabs at all. Like, I don't think they are, but these 2 are GMK panels, which I did enter the group buy for. So eventually I will have a matching keycap set for these 2. I think this one's going to look fantastic with Modern Dolch 2, though, which I've been saying from the beginning. And then, you know, obviously, like any purple keycap set, like, honestly, I could probably put Heki, which is the name of this mold, on this board here with the purple, and I think it would look quite nice, don't you? But yeah, that's you know, never really had a good way to show off my artisan collection before, and I don't have a lot of artisans. But yeah, just the ones that I do have. But as you can see, I'm a huge fan of GUI Keys. I enter almost every raffle, and in this case, both of these cases, I actually won 2 of them. I didn't actually win anything on the last raffle, but I should sub to his Twitch so that I can get a raffle pass, because that is one of the benefits. If you subscribe to his Twitch channel, which, by the way, check him out if you haven't. Very cool. He controls everything with pedals, has all these timers up on his screen so you can see how long resin's taking to cure, and then yeah, just cast these things. So if you have a sub to his channel, you can get a raffle pass and like kind of cut the line basically. And so I don't know if it's like a one-time use deal or what, because I've never done it, but there you go. There you go. Let's see what else. The Rama Burgers pack came in today, so I don't have them with me right now, but there was the artisan, which I showed you. There was the T-shirt, which is pretty cool, and then a wallet, all 3 of which I have. So I'll probably show those off at some point later on stream, but and then I have a couple other things that I'm supposed to be getting in like within the next couple days that I'm pretty excited about. Chaos 65 is one of them. So yeah, that should be sweet. Hopefully I'll be able to build that soon, among a few other things. But yeah. Oh, also another keyboard PSA for those of you interested. Novel Keys. Our friends at novelkeys.xyz have in stock GMK keycaps. So You know, if you got a hankering for Space Cadet or Grand Prix, those are both GMK keycap sets that are currently in stock. Honestly, Space Cadet's really cool. I wish they had an inverted version because they have a full blue base. Because I love GMK ASCII and I haven't been able to get my hands on it. But if they had one where the mods were gray as well, so basically GMK ASCII, but in whatever these symbols are, I think these are specialized symbols for something. I'm not sure. I mean, space related, I'd imagine. That would be sweet. I'm so tempted to get this one because it's just such a classic set. And I don't know if I would get the blue base or the classic base. But they're both pretty cool. And then Grand Prix is honestly kind of neat too. Wasn't super into it when the group buy initially ran, but now that I'm seeing it and I've been seeing people posting actual photos of it, I'm like, that's kind of nice actually. I kind of like that, especially with some of the orange accents. You can kind of combo those. Not a huge racing fan myself, but yeah. Are the Ramas available? Oh, dude. They have Ramas available too, which isn't super common. So I think I'm seeing the trend, like another, let's see, Omnitype. Guys, remember when Omnitype was called Dixie Mech? Anyone that old? I think it was like last year they rebranded. But they have the Pokeballs in stock, but they also have Pono and Modern Dolch 2 GMK in stock right now. So if you really like this, it's kind of almost like a darker Olivia kind of look, which I really dig, honestly, then that's in stock too. So standard and novelty. Obviously, if you're... Hey, Gio, what's up, my guy? If you're buying a GMK set like after the fact, so like an in stock, you're paying a premium, right? Because this wasn't a $184 base kit. But and also it doesn't look like there's Alice support in this guy. But, you know, it is what it is. You can get it for like in stock, which isn't super common. Drop has some in stock sets too, none of which I'm a giant fan of, maybe other than Laser. But yeah, anyways, that's where we're at. But that's not what we're doing today. Let me turn on some more lights, shall I? How about this light? How about that light? A little better, a little better. Gee, I was just showing off my fledgling artisan collection because I got an artisan box for them. So I'm a huge fan of GUI keys, if you can't tell. So got quite a few of those, but just got this Rama Works Rama Burgers artisan in today, which I'm pretty psyched about. Unrelated to any keycap set at all. They just did a special sort of flavor run of a t-shirt, a wallet, and a keycap, which I thought was cool. I just really dug the vibe of it. It kind of gave me like an in and out kind of vibe to it. So anyways, but yeah, today we're going to be building the Idobao ID80 with Holy Pandas. So first and foremost, we got to lube the Holy Pandas. I think they're... No. Let me change the title. Hold on. It's the Halo switches from Dankeebs. The Halu... Halo. That's what we're doing today. Jeez Louise. Plus, I posted on Discord too, like, Holy Pandas, but we did those last week. There we go. All right. Cool. Well, let's grab everything we need for the first step, which is first going to be, let's not dox anybody here, these little guys. So cute. The new version of the packaging for this Switch is actually a little ice cream container, which I think is pretty cool. I think at least one of them was. Let's see. I'm on Dankeeb's website right now. Oh, it's for the KTT. These are the JWK, I believe. If I'm not mistaken. Yeah. Okay. Interesting. Okay, so here's something to note. JWK Halu Halo, which is the name of a Filipino dessert, apparently. I don't pretend to know what that is. Halo? That's cool. But these are what we have today. So the traditional palm stem, polycarb housing, nylon bottom, right? But then they also have the KTT version, which is the polycar. Yeah, so it's the same construction basically, but it comes in a little ice cream container like this. Come on, that's adorable. And then they have multicolored stems apparently, and they're manufactured by someone else. So that's kind of interesting. I'd be fascinated to compare them because KTT versus JWK, I'm not really sure what the difference is. But yeah, that's what we're working with today. So these are cute. But let's roll out the clear carpet for Lubing. Gio, how are you doing, my guy? Are you playing Magic today? Whoop. It's an off week. Gotcha. Okay, right on. Oh no, I just dropped 4 switches. Nobody tell Filet. Technically only one's on the floor. Hey, let's go. Let's go. Is it pretty cold there too? It is freezing right now in Montana. Nice. Hey, well, the bread basement appreciates you. Really? Most snow on record since the 20s. Really? Okay. That's ridiculous. Let me check and see. I mean, we're not, it's not as cold as I think it's honestly already been colder this year. But in Celsius, our high tomorrow our high is -19 and our low is -28. For you Fahrenheit folks, that's -2 and -17, which is cold. That's pretty freaking cold. But yeah, see, -45. You know what's funny about temperatures is that I think -40 is where Fahrenheit and Celsius cross over. Yeah, exactly. It works in both scales at -45. That is ridiculous. I don't know that I've ever remembered. I know that it's happened in Montana before, but I don't remember it happening like being that cold in Montana. I remember -35, which was very cold. I had pipes breaking in my house, and somehow we still had to go to school. My university was like, "Sorry, you dummy, you still have to come to school." And I was like, "Okay." So that wasn't fun. But other than that, that was like, I think maybe twice that's happened. Other than that, it's like usually -20 is about as cold as it gets, and that's kind of where we're at right now. Tonight's low is -9, and then tomorrow's low is -17, and that's the worst of it. So hopefully this passes. It looks like for us, we should be back to normal-ish by Friday, so hopefully that's the same for you. I don't know, what it's like. But yeah, it's one of those things where like, and if you've never experienced this, God bless you, but like when you go outside, you're just like, humans are not meant for this. Like your every bit of moisture on your face freezes, your boogers, your moisture in your eyes, and you're like, I shouldn't be out here. Like this is arrogance that I am choosing to exist right now. Like it's crazy, man. I just remember some walks across campus like that where I'm like, I hate this. Why do I live here? So I don't know. But it's survivable. It's funny, I got home from work today, and we got like maybe 6 inches of snow last night. So not a ton. And I think that's about it for the foreseeable future. And I was like, I should probably snow blow my driveway. And then I like got out of my car to get the mail, and I was like, nope, never mind. I'm not doing that. So yeah. At least I don't have to worry about it melting and refreezing tomorrow, because it's just straight up not going to melt. 6 inches is a lot, but it's like we haven't had a ton of snow yet this year. So I think we probably got a solid like 12 inches in the backyard finally, which is nice. But yeah, it's been a kind of a dry year up until now. In fact, I don't even think it snowed until like the week before Christmas, which was crazy. So all the local ski resorts were like, what are we going to do? But it is what it is. I should update the build command because I think that's wrong too. Please hold. I was so sure of myself that we were doing Holy Pandas, but I already mailed those back to the client. What on earth? Custom build. Lubing Halu Halos. There we go. Submit. But all that to say, like, I still wouldn't trade living here, mostly because I feel like if I had to go through a Christmas with no snow, it would be very sad for me. I know that's I think that probably comes just mostly from a place of having grown up with always having snow on Christmas, but I just feel like it'd be like weird to not. But there is that, there's a Reliant K song off their Christmas album, very niche reference if you know who Reliant K is, where the lyrics are, it's always winter but never Christmas, which is so true, especially here where it's like, really spring doesn't happen until like maybe May, technically, so it's like there's so much winter. Maybe like late April it starts, but it's not really in effect until May. So yeah, and when I was a kid it was way worse. It would be like you wouldn't see grass between like oh, is that from a book? I didn't know. C.S. Lewis. I didn't know. I've read the book. I just didn't remember the quote. That's hilarious. Yeah, dude, Reliant K is the best. I was just tonight I was cataloging my vinyl collection, and they're one of the bands that I have the most records of. Dude, they're so good. I'm so glad you know who they are. I love them. Did you see that they're finally touring again? Like, I really want to go see them because I thought they were done. It's been 5 years since they've ever been on a tour. So I'm super psyched. Let's see. Discogs. My collection. How many Reliant K albums do I have? I can spell. Reliant K. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 Reliant K records on vinyl. So I'm a bit of a fan. They're really great. But yeah, I would love to see them live. Still haven't. Sounds good. Appreciate you. Oh boy. Sometimes this I know I've sung the praises of this thing a lot, and I still will. But the biggest problem it has is that if a switch has a slightly bent pin, it will bend it way more. So you got to make sure that the pin is straight before it goes in. Otherwise you might be in trouble. Ah. Also, I haven't made sure. Does this still work? Oh, good. Okay, cool. I'm actually not sure how many switches we're doing today, but I think it's only 90. I can check. There's a bill of materials in here. Yes, 90. Cool. Whoop, 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 whoop. Whoop. The old phone's buzzing. I got Twitch notification. Either my mobile dashboard or... Nope, Alex Otis went live. Cool. Very cool. Very poggers. Alex is a cool guy. I think these are really cute. I feel like I'd be torn if I were buying these. Because I like that they're not multicolored. I like that they're uniform looking personally. But like, I want that ice cream container. Dan Keebs is the guy. They're the folks who brought us the adorable milk container for those switches, which I will be putting in something at some point. But yeah, they're doing a great job. They're just out here making cool stuff. I believe there's a slight factory lube potentially. It kind of feels like it, but certainly not on the springs, which is where I think it matters. So. Also, guys, this is like, I feel like a silly thing for an old man to be doing, but dang it, I don't even care anymore. That's my right as an old man. But my friends and I have a band, and we're doing our first band practice next week. I think next week. And it's in my garage, so it'll be an official garage band. I always thought I'd be in a garage band, but somehow I never thought it would be my own garage, which is kind of exciting. So that'll be a good time. Working on kind of setting up a PA system so that I can use my electronic drums in there. I have an acoustic drum set, but it's so loud that I feel like everyone else would have to turn up their instruments so loudly to compete that it would just be like noise complaints central, because, you know, while it is a separate, discrete house, like, they're certainly close enough together with the neighbors that they'd be able to hear pretty well the shenanigans going on. So I don't know. I don't even know. What do I know? Also, if you are listening to this and you got in on the Maja group buy, I think the R2 from KBD fans, Shinbur let me know that they're planning to ship by like April, which is cool because I don't think they had a timeline until now. So, yeah, if you were kind of sitting on pins and needles and not knowing when that was going to happen. Which also means there'll probably be extras at that point, because I think they did the same with like the Blade and the Mountain and all the other ones that they've been running. So, yee. Whoop! Just had a monitor die.
Bruh.
Hey. He back. Did you say you had to go out to the shop, like as in outside? Here's what I imagine if this is the case. If you did, I just am imagining like The Thing, right? And you have to make a perilous trek from one building to the other. That's what I'm imagining right now. In the absolute freezing cold, maybe with a flare. That's what's going on in Canada right now. That's a great movie. It's just got like the right amount of gross stuff and tension and ambiguity. You should. Shoot it to me on Discord. I'll pull it up on stream. It's cold enough here that I've had some like UPS packages not delivered because of inclement weather. Which doesn't happen too often around here, but... Or weather delay is what they say. But... I kind of feel like that is like they were running behind and then we're like, well, technically this is some like very extreme weather, so maybe let's blame it on that. You know what I mean? Because other package delivery services are still running. Like I got a DHL package and a USPS package, but the FedEx was like, maybe not today. That's nice. I don't know about, I mean, I'm sure this is probably relatable to a lot of people, but it seems like whenever there's snow on the forecast, we've known for a week, big storm coming, you know, NOAA, the National Weather Report is like, big storm coming, and then the big storm happens, and then the city, like, government is like, oh, wait, there was a storm, and they don't have the plows ready, so nothing gets plowed, and then you're just kind of packing down the snow with your car, or, like, worst is when it's, like, the right ratio of a big road and a not super traveled road. I just remember I used to work at a mattress factory, and I would have to drive down this, like, for Montana, this is huge. It was like a 6-lane undivided highway. And it was like, you didn't know where the road was. They later put in like rumble strips on the side so that you could kind of drive by rumble strip. But it was like, when it snowed hard enough, and even now, like if it snows hard enough and it fills up the rumble strip, it's like you're just kind of driving blind, and like everyone drives as close to the middle of the road as possible because the last thing you want to do is end up in the ditch. So it's kind of pandemonium for a while, but yeah. And that was mostly just because I was getting to work at the mattress factory. I had to show up at like 5:45 whenever it snowed, just so that I could snow blow, so that customers could come. It was like a little boutique mattress, like mom and pop shop that would make and then sell their own mattresses. And so, yeah, I don't know. It was a cool job, but I had to get there very early when it would snow. Pretty cool people running that. Also found out that sewing zippers is very difficult, and mattresses have some of the longest zippers you'll ever see. So you'll just be sitting there with the sewing machine trying not to crinkle the material, because as soon as that happens, the zipper is not going to want to zip. Oh boy. But I got very good at sewing because of that. So yeah, because a lot of our mattresses, you could like open them up and then take the components out and flip them over. So rather than having to flip an entire king mattress once a year, you could just open it up, and then there's a maybe like 4 to 6 inch chunk of latex foam on the top that you would flip over, and then the spring inside would stay kind of permanently. So it made it easier for that in that regard. But yeah, it was like just sewing the tops hard. I also do feel bad because I've bought several mattresses since I worked there, but never from them because like they're pretty expensive, honestly. I probably would have if I had still worked there and had an employee discount, but it was like at the time when I was buying a mattress too, it's like $2,500 for a mattress is too much. Like I can't do this. So anyways, But they do make really nice ones. And actually, so in Montana, in Bozeman specifically, there's an adjacent kind of resort town sort of deal. It's got one of the biggest ski resorts in North America. Big Sky is what it's called. And the city itself is called Big Sky. And there's a section of it that's like a gated community kind of deal called the Yellowstone Club. And a lot of celebrities own homes up there. Brad Pitt has a house up there. Aaron Eckhart has a house up there. I think Christian Bale's got a house up there. There's like a ton of celebrities who own houses up there. And probably a lot that don't publicly own houses up there too. But we used to go on deliveries up there all the time. So that was really interesting, getting to go into these, like, you know, not a lot of people get to go up in there, and even fewer get to go into people's homes. And obviously we almost never met the people who owned the home, and it was like, you know, their fifth home that they'd be in for 1 week out of the year or whatever. But you know, we went into this one home where there was a river in the floor with kind of little pebbles in the bottom, and it was running through the whole house. So it would run through the floor and like through the living room, and then there was like, it started upstairs and it would go on like a waterfall down the side of the stairs and then through the living room. And we were kind of mystified. We're like, why on earth? This is like a huge hazard, it seems like, to have just a river in your house. And they were like, oh yeah, the interior designer who was working on the house, that's a beer river. Like, this water is refrigerated, so you just stick beers in the river, and then during a party, you can just wander around and grab beers out of the river. And I was like, okay, this is clearly a house that's exclusively for, you know, holding an event once a year. It's crazy. And the dude, okay, I think I'm allowed to say this. I don't think I shouldn't, but I did meet the owner of a house once. It was like probably a, you know, $5 or $6 million condo up there, and we delivered a couple mattresses up there to this guy, super chill guy. And we were like, we could kind of tell he wasn't the interior designer, because you get to know a lot of those folks. And it was like, this kind of seems like your condo. So we asked him, like, is this your place? And he's like, yeah. And we were like, what do you do? And he's like, oh, I made Travelocity, and then I sold it, and now I just chill up here. And we're like, oh, okay. So apparently selling Travelocity will get you a condo up in like the rich people's club. So, but Aaron Eckhart actually did come into the store to try out mattresses. I didn't get to meet him, but there was a lot of hubbub at the front of house that he was there, which was kind of funny. So yeah, and I don't know his name. I have no idea. And it sounded like he had, it's been a long time since he was involved in Travelocity. So yeah, anyways, kind of crazy. But there was one house that I think we delivered, I want to say like 16 mattresses to. It was like it was a ton of twins, because there were rooms and rooms with just like 3 high bunk beds in them that had like probably 10 twins in them, and then just a ton of kings and queens. So it was basically just like a giant guest house kind of deal. And their interior designer was putting in, while we were there, they were bringing in some of the furniture that they had picked out for this client, and their coffee tables were like stumps that had been spray painted chrome. It was one of the ugliest things I've ever seen, and I was like, why just get a real stump, my dude? Like, why would we spray paint this chrome? I don't know. It was very unpleasant to look at, but they had like 5 of them because they went all over the house. It was strange, but whatever. If it's what the client wants, then hey, that's chill. But if it were me and like just some faceless interior designer was like, oh yeah, I'll make it look good, and then I showed up and there's a chrome stump, I don't know that I would be super happy about it, but who knows? Depending on where these people are from, it's maybe like the right compromise of rustic, and I don't actually have to look at a real stump. But there's some pretty stringent like, I don't know if you would call them covenants, but just the design guidelines. Yo, what's up? How are you, my dude? Good to see you. There's some pretty stringent, like, exterior design rules. So, like, everything has to look pretty rustic up there. So, you're kind of already buying a house that's guaranteed to be really log cabin-y looking. So, you can't really get away from that. And it's like, why would you buy a house in Montana if you weren't looking for something that kind of has that vibe to it, you know? I don't know. How have you been, my guy? It's been a minute. Or actually, were you in the last stream? Or the one before? I can't remember. I feel like I saw you semi recently, but... Some kind of show I was watching when Jesse Pinkman was showing off his house. Oh, cool. Nice. That's pretty sweet. Actually, yeah, I think I heard about that. Yeah. And then I think John Mayer has got a house out here too, where he actually lives. Because he released an album called Paradise Valley, which is Aaron... oh my gosh. Yeah, Aaron something. What on earth is his name? Aaron Paul. That's what it is. But yeah, the John Mayer's album Paradise Valley is actually... There's a valley very close to where I live that is called Paradise Valley, and so he named the album after that, and that's what the cover of the album is just that valley, which is pretty cool. Also, guys, I am sorry. I tried, okay? I know I've talked a lot about, because every time I put these switches in here, it reminds me of the game Perfection, which then takes me on a tangent and reminds me of that traumatizing game with an alligator where you push the teeth down and then it bites you. Well, I went to Target to try to find it, and they were fresh out of stock, so I'll have to order one online and have it shipped here. But I really want that to be a channel point redeem of, like, play a round of childhood Russian roulette with the alligator or crocodile or whatever it is. But they did have Perfection. I just thought, once I saw it in person, I kind of forgot how big it is, and I was like, I don't think I really want to find the space for this thing. But the alligator is way smaller. They did also have Hungry Hungry Hippos, which took me back too, but yeah, we're just gonna... I want the alligator. I think it's better. Hey, look at that. A first-time chatter. Love to see it. Bye-bye. That's a bye-bye for me. Get this guy out of here. Why is the ban button not working? Oh, my internet's crashing. Can you guys still see me? Hello? I think it's okay. I think we're okay. The actual, like, dashboard isn't working, but thank God OBS can actually also show me my my chat. There we go. Huh, that's weird. Whatever. There we go. Got him out of here. You gone. I wonder, though, sometimes when I see stuff like that, super perfection. Wait, there's a thing called super perfection. I wonder if someone, like, hacked that guy's account, right? And then, like, posted that. But then, you know, it's kind of like that thing. I don't know how often this happens to you guys, but, like, I'll get spam phone calls, and it's like if they don't leave a voicemail, sometimes I'll be like, I don't know who that was, and I'll call them back, and it'll be a real person, but they'll be like, oh, I didn't call you. So clearly they're taking other people's numbers and spoofing them. So, like, I wonder if that happens on Twitch, where it's like your account gets compromised, someone posts spam in other people's chat, but then you get your account back, and now you're banned in, like, a ton of channels. That would be kind of lame, but I don't know. Who knows? The odds of that guy both being a real guy who will eventually get his account back and being someone who would actually want to watch my channel, it's probably a low enough percentage that I'm, like, totally fine with just straight up banning that guy, but whatever. I'm going to look up super perfection after I give these a good old hearty shake. Crying SpongeBob PFP and Call of Duty Warzone banner makes sense. Their company recompromised. That's funny. That's a spicy take there, but I can't say I disagree. Also, welcome into the stream. First time chatter. Appreciate you being here. How's your night going so far? If it's night for you. I don't know. Okay, that's enough shaking. Super perfection. Oh, jeez. Oh, are you kidding me? This looks so much harder. Bro. Pretty aight. Haven't gotten an update on chipping on your soldering iron. Okay, right on. What soldering iron did you get? This looks so much harder. Are you kidding me? Yike. That's a yike for me, but honestly, it looks like it's like probably been out of production in quite a while. But if I could get my hands on that, it seems a little bit smaller and also significantly more difficult. And that seems like just the right amount of stress that I need in my life while streaming. Okay, let's grab. Actually, let's just yeet this some springs in here, shall we? Nice, right on, right on. Do you already have a soldering iron, or are you just like dipping your toes into the world of soldering keyboards? If it's the latter, welcome. You should check out Gio's channel for good soldering guides. I was had his stream on while I was getting ready for bed last night, and the man can solder well and give good demonstrations as to why you don't cut your cables short before you build the cable. That was cool. If you know, you know. He's the Bob Ross of keyboard builders. My other iron is older than probably 40% of the people in this hobby. Nice. Right on. Right on. I got some dinosaurs in my garage that my dad gave me. I should bust those out at some point. I also have a typewriter in my garage that Elvin and I are going to work on something at some point. But yeah, I should bust. You know, I'm guessing the little like ink strip is long since dead though, and I don't know if I can get a replacement for it. But you'd think with enough hipsters in the world, there'd be like replacement typewriter ink strips, right? Graphite strips, whatever those are. TGR Koala. No, let's look that up. Come along, class. I feel like when you're a Twitch streamer and you like go down like an internet rabbit hole, it's like the Magic School Bus. If I could type. Wait, I don't see it. You got a link? KFE. I'm seeing. Oh wait, TGR X MXF. Oh, Maxif. Oh, cool. It's like a TKL. Top on Mech Market. Okay. I do like Meg Market. I also do like a good tangent. Okay, so it's a dude, good for Maxif. Maxif is a cool guy. I like his streams. And that's cool that he got to work with TGR on this. Dang. The logo looking clean though. Come on, Max. You're killing it. Wow. Dude, this looks expensive. But if it's not too expensive, definitely interested. Wow. TGR, though, like someone I saw posting on Mech Market was like, we'll pay $6K for, yeah, $1,500. Okay. That's, yeah. Someone was willing to pay like $6 to $8K aftermarket for a Jane, I think. That's wild. Okay. Well, cool. I like it. Yeah, the green and gold That is nice. I personally really like the forest green and black too. That one was really nice. So cool. Well, right on. I wonder kind of what the like involvement level was, right? Because obviously TGR knows how to make a really, really nice TKL already. So I'm curious what Maxif was able to accomplish with them. I'm sure he was involved and wanted to do more than just like adding a logo to it, but how do you... Yeah, like if they approached me, I don't even know what to say, right? Like, what do I do? Appeal to Jane is the history of the board and less the quality. Oh, really? Maybe, okay, so I must be pretty uninformed then. I guess I just assumed it was like people, like, you know, the hype around like the frog or pretty much anything that like Geon makes. I assumed it was something like that where it was like really high quality. What's the history of the TGR? Or yeah, of TGR. I haven't heard Diego talk about it. Also, this sax man. My dad is a saxophone player, so I grew up listening to sax music, and it's very nostalgic for me at this point. The Kenny G features on Kanye's album, the Jesus is King album, are just so nice. Oh, one of the first greats. Okay, so it's like everyone's first grail kind of deal because it was like the first kind of board in that league. That makes sense. I know that like I knew they had been around for a while. I just didn't know much about their history. But yeah, the TGR boards are the ones that I see people hunting. What's with the OTD koalas after market price? Oh, really? Sheesh. I feel like there's got to be an art to predicting which boards are going to appreciate and which boards aren't, you know? Because like the Rama Works U80 boards, right? I saw them in group buy a while ago, and I was like, I want one, but I don't want to spend $400 on it, right? And then I see people selling them for like over $1,000 on Mech Market, and I'm like, well, okay, at least I could have justified buying one at the time if I knew they were going to get this expensive, which maybe was dumb to not think that because it's a Rama Works metal board. But still, I'm like, you know, there's plenty of boards that I could spend $400 on that would maybe drop in value. I don't know. Oh, it has. I know that they're announcing another group buy. I think. I don't know what it is, but it looks like another TKL. They just posted a picture with like the soon emoji and like a really crazy colored orange board on Twitter, which I thought was interesting. Let me see if I can find it. Oops, that's Twitch. Twitter. Rama Works. Yeah, this is like a wild color. Hold on. When I saw this, this looks like a TKL, right? Like, I can't imagine it not being one because, I don't know, whatever. Oh, really? I don't know. I haven't heard anything about that, but that is interesting. I know that didn't Kate, as in Kate Keycaps, leave RamaWorks? She was like one of the lead designers. And they haven't even shipped the Kate keycaps yet? I don't really know. Okay, fair enough. I feel like there's enough drama in like the keyboard community at this point that there should be like an LSF equivalent for just keyboard stuff. I don't know. And then it'll just be people airing out their grievances with like GMK for their insane lead times. Which, by the way, I did find out that GMK, apparently they do a lot of things other than keycaps. So like that's probably why they're not super motivated to spend even more time and money ramping up production, because it's like, well, it's one income stream. And probably an annoying one at that, especially when you're like getting sent back color match like failures and stuff. I don't know. Who knows? All I know is that I'm thankful for things like nice PBT keycaps coming out, or like some of the PBT ones that Novelkeys have been doing have been pretty decent. Like these ones I really like, honestly. Like they're obviously not as high quality as a GMK Taro, but like if you're like me and you got greasy hands and you just shine GMK keycaps immediately, it's kind of nice to be like, okay, well I can have 80% of that with like almost none of the drawbacks of GMK. So that's kind of nice. At least there's alternatives, right? Like if you're someone new to the hobby and just everything's out of stock and like insane lead times, it's like, well, okay, well here's a cheaper version that's it's like slightly less high quality, but it's mostly there and it sounds nice. And like they reran Noel, which I probably should get, honestly. Noel's one of my favorite keycap sets, and they have a nice PBT version of that. And they're usually in stock too. They're not group buys, so yeah. Good stuff. Taro Noel, and yes, Fuji's one that I already had on group buy. I've already ordered the GMK one, so I don't want to order the PBT one because it's like, all right, well maybe I'll just be patient and wait. But had I had a choice at the time, I absolutely would have gotten PBT. I didn't even know they made an Olivia, PBT Olivia. That's interesting. But yeah, this Taro one I'm really digging. And Taro is one of those kits where like I saw the group buy and I was like, not really interested. And then it shipped and everyone was posting on Reddit. It was back also when there were a lot fewer GMK sets at the time. And like and just everyone was posting it. And I was like, okay, I get it. This is an amazing keycap set. And now I'm bummed I don't have it, but the aftermarket was insane for it. And then, you know, my patience or stubbornness paid off. And like, it's so nice. It's really, and it pairs so well with the Boba LTs on this mode. Like, it just sounds so good. Olivia just gave the Zoom 65. Go ahead and use the fake Olivia double shot set. Interesting. Yeah, it won't shine overnight. The only keycap set that like I regularly use that's GMK is Modern Dolce Light, and that's because I found that white keycap sets tend to not show shine as easily. So they're still shining at the same clip as everything else, but it's like way less obvious than like, I don't know. I have like the EVO1, you know, the green and purple one, and it's like immediately shined up on me, and I'm like, okay. Actually, okay, this is trigger warning if you hate shiny keycaps. But let me show you the first mechanical keyboard I ever bought and I typed on for about 4 years. And it has ABS keycaps. It's also disgusting and I'm going to rebuild it, but this is your last chance to look away. Oh man, look at that. That is gnarly. And Cherry MX Blues. That's a yike for me. So yeah, we're going to rebuild that at some point. I also want to mod it so that it has a detachable cable, which will be an interesting endeavor. As well as... so it has not even like plate mount stabs. You can sonically refinish the tops. Huh. Like with an ultrasonic bath? Because I have an ultrasonic cleaner. I haven't tried that, but I could. Oh, okay, something else. Interesting. I feel like it's one of those things where I'd like some scammer would show you like using a heat gun or something on TikTok, and then people would try it and it wouldn't work. Interesting. I will have to look into that. Not that I super care about this particular set because it's an OEM profile, which is like my least favorite profile. But yeah, that'd be interesting just to try it in general because I have a couple GMK sets that I would love to unshine. But yeah. What's your oh, Conoco. Okay. What's your take on the PBT Noel? Because that was one of my favorite sets that I never bought. And if it's as high quality as the Taro, then I'm definitely in for that. Because I love that color color scheme. It's so pretty. Colors are undersaturated, but still love it. Okay. All right. We'll give it a shot. That's Canon keys, right? They're doing that one. I think they're running all the nice PBT. A good white on black PBT cherry set will never exist. Yeah, I got the one from the Key Company and was very disappointed. Hiraganda or whatever it was. I don't know how to pronounce that, but it was just basically a white on black, but you can get the alphas in different languages. And it was like white on gray, maybe. Like it was not a great black. Or maybe it was just that the black would catch the light enough that it never really looked like a deep, nice black. I don't know. Okay, definitely. I will be there. I'll check it out. I liked the CMYK mods on that set, but that was about it. Nothing else really. I don't know. Yeah. IFK, I don't know. I've kind of... I don't know. It's like that meme of the guy with... He's walking with his girlfriend and looking back at someone else. That's me with like ePBT versus Infinity. I just don't like Infinity very much anymore. Also, I think part of it is that I think they're exclusive through the Key Company, who has up until this point done a pretty horrible job of color matching, where like the Strawberry Lemonade disaster was pretty bad, and then like the Legend centering on Islander was truly awful. So I don't know. It is what it is. But I will say, as much as I don't like the Key Company, credit where credit's due, I've noticed that they've started packaging their desk mats a lot better. They used to just yeet them in the like kind of plastic bags that they always come in, and then stack them in their warehouse. So you get one that's so curled and warped that it wouldn't ever lie flat. But now they're like double packaging them in a cardboard tube and then a cardboard box. So I'm like, okay, I'm still probably never going to buy stuff from you guys, but like, I mean, that's at least an improvement, right? So, that was nice to see, but yeah, still like, not going to do it. They've just done enough things that, I don't know, whatever. I still don't even know the story behind Blind Assassin and the Molly. Because he was in here talking the other day about that, and Keeb Noob was kind of razzing him about, you know, he designed the Molly, but that's a story that the Key Company won't tell you about. And I'm like, what? Did they just scrub his name off of that board? Oh, let's go. Sick. I'm so excited. I was thinking about that while you were building cables on stream. I was like, oh, this is going to be a legendary cable. Oh, no worries. No expectation there. Zap Cable's OG drop. I haven't seen that one. Whoop, my monitor just flickered. Oh, interesting. Okay. I'm like really jumpy about monitor flickering now. Like, if I can get through today's stream without shutting down my own PC, that would be fantastic. That's the goal here. It ruined my VOD, so I had to actually pull the VOD off Twitch, which had muted audio for like 6 minutes, which was really lame. Rubberized, fully custom cables. Interesting. Oh, wait. I think I have one of these. A friend of mine bought something off of Mech Market that came with a rubberized coiled cable with a Limo connector on it. And he was like, hey, I don't really plan to use this. Do you want it? And I was like, sure. And that's pretty interesting. Huh. Reminds me of like an old like landline phone, you know? Remember how those had like the kind of rubberized coating on the coiled cable? And you'd just like play with it with your finger while you were talking on the phone. I remember that. Or like, I feel like everyone had the clear phone where you could see all the components inside. You know what I mean? That one was fun. Good times. Oh, these guys have clear cables too? Oh, no way. Sure enough. Interesting. Well, that's cool. If you don't know, Jiren in chat is the owner and proprietor of Dispatch Cables, and he and I are working on a custom cable that kind of fits with my branding a little bit. So one of the things that we're doing is a special orange limo connector, if that's how you pronounce it. Limo. Which I'm pretty psyched about. And then picking out colors for the rest of the cable to kind of fit with the, you know, Betamax vibe that I got. So that'll be neat. Well, see, he's the cable guy. You didn't know that, but he is the cable guy. Geo the cable guy. Oh, that is nice too. An angled? What? I didn't know you made you had angled cables available too. He's wilding on me over here. Are they really? Like, it's silly. Like, don't even touch me with that. It cost me $18 shipped. Nice. Yep. I'm trying to think of like why I would want a right angle one instead of a straight one though. Like, at least personally. I don't know. Though, you know, what you said about like everyone's first cable is a coiled cable, talking on stream last night, you know, because that's what you see photos of online. So true. They're just kind of unruly at a certain point. Like, you know, you buy one and then it's like, okay, well, what do I do with this now? And then you don't use them anymore. So I don't, I have them at work just because, full disclosure, I suppose, I bought a couple of them. So in order to post, 100% coiled, like all the way from device to host, that would be kind of awesome. Actually, that I feel like that's better than a partially coiled one. But yeah, so like in order to post on Mech Market as a vendor, like providing a service, you have to have, I think, 20 confirmed trades or something like that. So I ended up just buying a bunch of stuff that I didn't necessarily need but was cheap, because there's not a lot of people selling cheap stuff on Mech Market, just so that I could confirm the trades and prove that I was legit, so that I could actually post on that subreddit for as a service provider, which was, it took a long time, honestly. It took like almost a month to get all those trades done. So, I don't know. It's so inconvenient, and it's like if it just like decides one day, oh, I don't want to sit on your desk this way anymore. It's like, well, okay, now this cable is running my life. And it will do what it wants. So that's kind of annoying. Ooh. But I mean, I get the aesthetic appeal. Like, if you can actually get it to lie straight. But the other thing, too, is, like, who doesn't ever move their keyboard around? You know? The coil is, like, the great inhibitor of repositioning your board. So if it's, like, sitting there perfect, then fine. But, like, if you have to move it, it just kind of ruins it. Somebody's selling the whole shebang of IFK Dark Cyrillic. Interesting. I haven't really paid much attention to Infinicky stuff in a while. But the best thing that Infinicky ever did for me was I had the Hive set and a lot of the novelties and stuff. And there was a guy from, I want to say Sweden, who was selling his Hive set. And he had put in the mech market post like, hey, selling my set. Kind of wish I didn't have to, but I don't have the right keys for this. Like, I don't have the ISO enter and a couple other things. And I looked through my own set, which I wasn't even using at the time. And I was like, I have those. And so I just messaged him on Reddit and I was like, hey, keep your set. Give me your address. I'm going to mail you some keycaps. And he was a super nice guy. And I've kind of got to chat with him a little bit since then, which was nice. So that's the best thing Infinicky ever did for me, was help me meet a cool guy who just wanted to use the set. Lindy cables have red rings on them. Lindy cables. Totally just fake that out with a red O-ring. True. It's like the people who paint the red ring on their Canon lenses to make them look like the L series. I've actually seen tutorials on that, which gave me a good chuckle. Like, I don't know. Oh, interesting. Okay. I don't know what Lindy is. Is that like a hype key or cable brand or something? I do see the red heat shrink. Lindy only sells straight cables in Europe. Interesting. Nice. Right on. I do like these switches so far. I mean, I think they're pretty much stock JWKs, but I have always kind of liked this, you know, just Tropicals were one of my favorite switches, and they were just a recolor. So, I don't know. I'm excited to try this board out too, because it was like one of the cheaper, not cheaper, more affordable gasket mount boards I've seen around. So I'm hoping it sounds real tasty. PCB mount stabilizers. Try out the BDZ again. I actually really liked it last time, so I'm curious how it'll sound in a gasket mount board. Gatoron Tangies, huh? Interesting. Yeah, didn't they kind of change the springs around the like Ink V2 era? If I recall correctly. They were like those like creaky, almost powdery springs they had that were like pretty much every Switch had, that were just awful. And And now most everything is gold plated, which is just the best. I'm very happy about that. As someone who never spring swaps because I'm lazy, I should just get a ton of TX springs so that I can spring swap. But I don't know. Most switches, it seems like, come with like the nice gold plated springs now, which are really smooth. I haven't even heard that term before. Oh, really? Huh. I think most people have recommended like the TX springs. So, yeah, hadn't even heard of them. But I'm also not like very interested at all in spring swapping. In my opinion, and even I'm not even really that interested in Franken switches. Thick Thought too, I have heard of them. Because I feel like I would rather spend my time and money just buying a switch that's like, there's so many switches now that like I feel like you should be able to get a switch you like without having to Franken something. You know what I mean? I'm like, I don't know. I feel like Zycos are one of the last switches that people talk about, and I'm just like, $2 a switch is like a no-no for me. Not doing that. I'm like 60 to 70 cents per switch tops. Still no silent switch. Yeah, that one's tough. Have you seen? I got these in just because I thought this is insane. Why does this exist? The muted jades. These are like a silenced box jade. They just have a little bit of rubber up above and below. I don't know. I was so mystified by these. Like, why on earth do these even exist that I had to buy them? And honestly, like, they're pretty quiet. They're not that quiet, but they're pretty quiet. And I feel like I built a keyboard for a client who liked the feel of them, but felt like he couldn't get away with box jades in an office setting, which I 100% agree with. So we used box royals, because he just liked the feel of those. And I mean, these would have been way better, I think, than box royals. So I like when I first ordered them, I'm like, these are stupid. Why would anyone want these? These are crazy. But I have to try them. And now I'm like, okay, I can kind of see it. They're like a slightly louder, tactile-ish switch, but I don't think I'd ever put them in a personal build. They're more like a good switch if you have to compromise, I guess. I don't really know. But Zycos are like... I haven't tried a Zycos, but Neapolitans are supposed to be kind of a Zycos clone. And I really like Neapolitans. I tried them out in my... or I have them in a Think 6.5 V2, and they slap, honestly. I use them at work, and they feel really nice, but... I don't know. A silent switch with no top out and no leaf sound. I'm trying to think of if they're... I don't think they're... I mean, supposedly box pinks can get kind of good if you lube them, but they're also a box switch, so they'll kind of naturally send the lube out the bottom, because that's what they're supposed to do, is like be like resistant to things getting inside them, which includes lube. So I don't really know. And I've never tried box pinks either, so I don't really know. But it's like, how do you avoid a top out sound, I guess? I don't know, because the whole name of the game with like 90% of silent switches is just we put rubber pads at the bottoms of the stem. So like the bottom out sound is negated, but yeah, I don't know. Do silent alpacas have something for top out? I can't remember. Boba gum stems. Oh, interesting. I haven't tried those. But I do like me some Gazoo switches. The Boba LTs are just chef kiss. The long poles. They're so nice. I love them. And I think the flex cuts in the PCB. Filet? What's up, my dude? I've been seeing so many supercars on Instagram now. Thanks to you, my guy. And every time I see a photo with like several people or a person in it, I'm like, I wonder which one is filet. So that's where we're at right now. I'm playing detective, trying to figure out which one of them is you. You got to tag yourself so I can know. But holy cow, my guy, you guys have some of the most expensive cars I've ever seen coming through, and like a ton of them at once. Like, I think you understated how many expensive cars come through your guys' place. Unbelievable. Anyways. Even as someone who's not a car guy, if you can guess who I am, I'll give you a jar of kiwi switches. Okay. I only get one guess. Hold on. Shin Burr. What's up, my dude? How are ya? Hoping you're, you can guess wrong intentionally. Let's see. Also, your guys' Instagram account is so very active. Always got something on the story. Always got a new post coming through. Very cool. There we go. All right. One guess. Well, first I got to find a photo with some people in it. So, okay. Here's the information I'm going on. I've heard your voice and I've seen your hands on Twitch. But I don't think you've done face cam stuff before that I've seen. So, we're flying blind here. Sorry, I'm taking a lot of time on this, but it's important to me. There's a jar of kiwis on the line. Most of these posts don't have people in them, though. I think usually it's on your stories that I see people. Yeah, dude, your set looks really good, dude. Just realized that. Oh, that there's not a lot of people in them. Okay, here's what I'm gonna do. Next stream, I will present the case for who is filet. Okay. Because I don't wanna pause the stream just to go on a wild detective hunt. You know what I mean? But yeah, dude, Gio, your stream room looks so nice now. What is that? There's a giant box on it'd be my left, your right, with the Magic the Gathering logo on it. What is that? Because it was up there with all your board games, and I was like, is that like a promo thing or like Commander Anthology? I don't even know what that is. Is it like a bunch of Commander cards or like Commander decks? Just like 4 Commander pre-builds. Cool. Okay. You know what I recently discovered is the series, because I've watched these guys, the Command Zone, for a while, right? Like, I feel like if you're into Magic, you've probably seen the Command Zone, probably like the highest production value Magic channel I've ever seen. They have like Post Malone on there last week, but they have a whole series on like, buy this pre-built Commander deck and then get these cards and swap them out. And I think that's awesome, like budget upgrades for pre-builds, because building a Commander deck is so daunting. When you're like, I need 100 cards in here that can't be duplicates, and they have to sort of have a synergy with each other and the commander. It's like, I don't even know, man. It's a big ask for me, at least. So anyways, that's a cool series that they have. If you just want to like buy a couple singles on Card Kingdom or TCG Play or whatever and chuck them in a pre-built, brilliant. Love it. And also that whole channel's kind of given me a much bigger appreciation for Commander, because I've always been a more like standard format, 40 to 60 card deck. Slug it out with your friends kind of deal. No commanders or whatever. But it seems really fun when they get a 4-player game going. You get 40 health instead of 20, so you can have like much more interesting combos going on in like late game. I don't know. Seems cool. So, definitely interested in trying more Commander. Sounds good, my dude. Shinber, how are you today? How was your Monday? Did you work today? I was just telling people about how you are hopefully getting your Mahjong soon. God bless. One of those, like, dude, one of the things that drives me nuts about KBD fans is they'll run a group buy and they'll be like, fulfillment, we don't know. They'll be like, we'll let you know after the group buy closes when this thing's going to be done. And it's like, well, you kind of have me over a barrel if I want the keyboard, because it's honestly the only place to get it, but I don't know when it's going to ship. Oh, dang, really? Are you okay? What happened? Crazy heart rate, felt tired, felt weak. Oh, dang, man, I'm sorry. That's brutal. You got your KBD Odin after 3 months. That's cool. Interesting. Was that another one that like had no date on it, but then it turns out it was a lot shorter than you thought? That's, I guess, that's the good ending, right? Dude, you know what's crazy? When so I have asthma and I have an albuterol inhaler, and if I eat grapefruit or drink certain brands of like powdered apple cider and then use my inhaler, my heart rate spikes like crazy. And apparently it's a thing. Like, apparently that's a known medical issue with albuterol and grapefruits, and I guess it doesn't happen to everyone, but some people it does. I just remember in high school, I had eaten a grapefruit before a basketball game and then had to use my inhaler, and I was benched because I was just exhausted and my heart was going insanely fast. So good times. Finally started feeling better for 4 hours. Nice. Good for you. Like, I feel like all you can do is just like rest at that point, you know? It's just, you gotta lie down. You can't. It's like your heart's beating so fast that it's like no oxygen's going around or something. I don't know what it is, but you just feel like a crazy person. KBDV fans be like, EPDT Soju will be ready in 3 months. I mean, 8 months. Yeah, that's happening with the, what is it? The Sweet Girl / Acid House, which is such a weird, like, what on earth was that group buy? But what's worse is that I entered that group buy through Kono, who are, I'm finding out, not my favorite vendor. And it's like they're waiting on KBD fans, who's waiting on EPBT. And so it's like 3 layers of delays going on there. So I'm like, am I ever going to get this? Your wife works Monday, so you also had your son with me. Oh, dang. Okay, that would be like, I've never thought about that before. But like having a medical emergency when you're the only one to take care of a child sounds terrifying. Yee. Glad you powered through that, though, my guy. Jeez Louise. But that's why, so to this day, that's why my favorite flavor of Jelly Belly jelly beans is grapefruit, because I usually can't eat grapefruit because of that inhaler issue. Because you just never know if you're going to have an asthma attack. I've never had just like an out of the blue one, or I haven't in years, but like, you never know. Can't wait for the Mahjong. Just need those TX stabs. Yes! I have not. So there's a lot of companies making stabs now. And I'm very interested in all of them, and I've gotten my hands on none of them. So. Mostly using 2U. What? Who is this guy? And how is he the most connected guy? Only if you don't leak? Do we have an exclusive? This is a deal I've been trying to negotiate with Theremin Goat this entire time, but he won't give me an exclusive contract. But maybe, just maybe, we can have an exclusivity contract with Cad. If everyone, hey, listen, everybody, we have to promise. I say we. Feel free to DM the link if you'd rather not post it in my chat. Actually, you probably should DM the link because I'm posting this VOD on YouTube. Literally only Oh. Wait, should we have a raffle? Should we should I have you guys pick a number or assign you guys numbers and then do a random number generator to see who CAD gives the link to? There's also stabies, right? Those are a new thing. And I think there's ink stabilizers. I don't know if those are a recolor of Durocks or not, but Gateron ink stabilizers are a thing. I would agree with Geo though. Like the quality really matters on the bigger stabilizers. In fact, I usually don't even balance the wires on the 2U. And at this point, if I do a holy mod, like if someone really wants me to do a holy mod for them, I will only do it on the larger spacebar stabilizers. I didn't know you had a 7V. What? That's rad. The only two I've used, well, three. Cherry, not a fan. C3, they're alright. And Durock, which are just like my workhorse. You know what I mean? Did you guys see the group buy for the spring? I thought about entering it. It's that Alice style board that has like a metal kind of leaf spring for the PCB, and it also has a split plate, which I thought was interesting on an Alice style board. I was like, oh, this looks cool. I might enter the group buy. And then you get to the group buy, and it's this like kind of sketchy looking website, and they're like, okay, when the group buy happens, order the board. And then once you have an order number, you can go back and order the PCB and the plate. I think it's by Owl Labs. And I was like, I don't like that. Like, I think a lot of people with frogs ended up without PCBs. And I was just like, there's enough weirdness around this group buy that, like, I don't like it. So I didn't do it. But now I'm kind of like, should I have just done it? I don't know. It was a decent price, and it seems like a really cool board, but I don't know. Oh, Geo's good for it. He's an honest one. Scout's honor, right, Geo? Geo's your real dad, but he doesn't tell anyone. Oh. Uh-oh. We got some we got some Maury Povich going on in the chat right now. Or who's the other guy? Not Dick Van Dyke. I'm trying to remember. Because Maury's been gone for a long time. Who's the guy who's always like, you're not the father? You guys know what I'm talking about. Jerry Springer, that's who it is. I don't know if you guys watch Red Letter Media at all. One of my favorite YouTube channels. Huge movie buffs, like to review movies and just watch old VHS tapes and make fun of them. Haven't checked them out yet. You definitely should. But they have a series called Review where they'll go back and talk about movies that they like that aren't necessarily good. They just like them, which is different from some of their other stuff. But they went and reviewed a bunch of Jerry Springer episodes, and it was really funny. Sounds good, my guy. Be safe. Hope you feel better. Be thinking about you. And yeah, psyched to see your Maja build happening hopefully soon. Good night, my dude. Oh, that happened again. I think the key caps going on this board are a DSA It's like the DSA Magic Girls set, which I'm excited to try. It's been so long since I've used a DSA profile on a board. So one of the earlier mechanical keyboards I did buy, though, was DSA. Because that was also the time when I just didn't know what I wanted. You know, it was like, first board was OEM profile, MX Blues. Second board, DSA profile, MX Reds. Because I was like, well, maybe I like linears. And then the third one was Cherry profile, MX Browns. And I was like, we're getting there, but it's taking me a bit. A Bauer polycarbonate for 900. That's down quite a bit, isn't it? Yeah, prices slowly deplete. Huh. I thought it was like 1,200 for a Bauer before. Or is that up? Maybe I'm thinking of a different board. Bauer seems interesting, but never got my hands on one. Bowers used to be way more. Okay, that's what I thought. They had like a Vickery raffle or Vickery auction for Bowers at one point, which is like a sign that they're one of the boards that people will pay a lot for. Those are so crazy. I ain't got the guts to enter one. I guess you'll never end up paying more than you bid, right? They just reran it? I think so. I think so, but I'm not 100% on that. Like, you're guaranteed if you win to pay less than you bid. So as long as you bid what you can afford or feel is reasonable for the board, I guess, then you're good. It's just the temptation is to overbid to try to get it. And then hope that someone else bids less. Like, it's that nightmare scenario of like, well, what if I bid 10,000 just to be like, I'm gonna get this board, but then like 4 other people did, and so all of us have to pay 10,000 now. You know what I mean? That's a nightmare scenario. Also, does Instigator have some kind of automated means of getting into people's chats? Because he is always here immediately, which I find interesting. He must, right? Scripted? Okay. Because he's there with, like, all the bots right at the beginning. Another TTT viewer. Or, yeah, TTV. Our black market deal is... coming to light. So, okay. Whoop. Creative Cloud. Thank you. Okay, so if any of you have tried any stabilizers in the Stabies, Gateron stabilizers, the Ink stabilizers, or the TX, any thoughts on those? I haven't really seen any coverage on, like, how good they are. So I don't really know what to think about them. 100% TX. Like, what's better about them? Is it like they're just... Oh, okay. Get around in the sense you main Zeal stabs. TX or who cares? Oh, that's true. I haven't used Zeal stabs either. I've used equals C... Like the C3 equals C3 stabs, and I've used cherry stabs, and I've used Durock stabs. Both V1 and V2. Zeal slept on? Okay. Are they pretty expensive? Because that's always kind of been my gripe with Zeal products in general, but I don't really know. Zeal and Durock are pretty much the same, but I've used Zeal more than anything else. I guess Zeal is Canadian, aren't they? So... There's Zeal, so yeah, okay. You can get a 5% discount. 50 shipped for one set? Oh, for a 10 pack. Oh, okay, I was about to say $50 for a single, for enough, like, because they usually come in a 5 pack, right? It's like 5 housings, and then they have the 6.25 and the 7U wire. Oh, use Alice, yeah. Dude, Alice is so nice that way. I'd love... the 2U only, because I have so much better luck making 2U stabs sound just delicious than it takes a lot more work to get the bigger ones to sound good, but I don't know. It is very satisfying to have a really, really juicy sounding spacebar, but yeah, I don't know. I'm a bigger fan of Alice personally. Oh, guys, did you see the Argyle? It's so unique. That was the first group by, I think it's a prototypist. It was the first group buy for a keyboard that I've entered in a while, because it was like it's like a premium board, but a through hole at the same time. And I'm mystified by this. Like, I think these are just renders, but like, come on. That looks so good. 60% with the components on both sides. I was immediately like, okay, this is the only premium through-hole build I've ever seen. It's possible that there's been others, but like, dang. So the group buy is open right now, but it doesn't ship till next year. And it's like, I don't remember how much it is, but it's pretty expensive. It's in pounds, but yeah, 300 pounds, which is what? I can't remember what that is in USD, but it gets close to 400 plus USD. But anyways, pretty cool board. I was, that was the first one I was like, okay, that's unique enough that I'll bite. And I think Jay from Prototypist streams too. He sent one to Alex Odos, who built it and thought it was pretty cool. So that's what made me think the shipping times were sooner. But then I saw that and I was like, oh, dang, it's going to be a while. But that's okay. Just enough time for me to recover from the price tag. Oh, you did? I haven't actually seen the stream yet. I'm going to check out the VOD highlight, which, like, the fact that Alex actually takes the time, I don't know if he hires an editor or does it himself, but he cuts the VODs down to like a 20-minute thing. Insane. What a guy. Because there's a lot of dead time in a stream, so like, I don't know. Pretty cool. But I ain't got time for that. I don't even make content other than the streams themselves. Like, I just yeet that onto YouTube and call it a day. But, I don't know. Whatever works. Someday I'd like to, but it's kind of one of those things where it's like, at this current junction, I don't have the time for it, which is fine. But I do have a different overhead cam than I used to, which means that my photography camera has been freed, which means I can start taking pictures of boards again, which would be awesome. So I'll plan to do that soon. Get some nice pictures of some of my favorite builds. This one especially, I think, would be great. And then also some shoes that I'm trying to sell. Need to take pictures of those for eBay or wherever I want to post them. eBay added seller fees for sneakers though. It's like 8%. So that was going to be my golden goose. I was just going to sell all the sneakers I want to sell on eBay. But I think January 19th, they added an 8% seller fee. Which one made you rethink? I don't actually have an Alice, but my favorite so far is the Sneakbox Ava. I do really like that one. We got a link. Z Frontier. I was just on their site today. I was looking at the Fox Lab Sandglass Ergo. Oh, look at that wrist rest. Oh, that's nice. That's really nice. Huh. Interesting. I can't read any of this. Hey, what's up? Thanks for stopping by. Dang. All right. Appreciate you being here. Yeah, we're just about wrapping up the lube here for your switches, and then I'll have this back in the mail for you tomorrow. But it was supposed to run in January, but I don't speak Chinese. Fair enough. Nor do I. $7 a.m. to 10 p.m. is inhuman. I am so sorry. That is brutal. Right on. Sweet. Retail inventory prep. Oh, man. I've never worked a retail job, and I am like... I'm so thankful for people who do that kind of stuff, because it sounds unfun to me personally. I don't know. I've done all kinds of jobs. I mean, I've worked as a lifeguard and a swim instructor, and I worked at a mattress factory, and I worked at a used furniture sales place and whatever. So I've been around the block a few times, but I don't know. Never done retail or food service. Okay. Seems like a rite of passage that I missed somehow, but I also worked as a janitor for a while, and but a lot of my jobs I didn't have to talk to people either. Like when I worked at that mattress manufacturing place, I would just sit there on the sewing machine and just sew stuff, and it was kind of chill, you know. Just put on some music and vibe, and same as a janitor, you know. No one's there, so you're just alone cleaning, and it's like, yeah, it's kind of nice. You know, you can't really do it during normal hours. It's either weekends or nights, but still, it's like, yeah, I'm just vibing. Swim instructor sucked because I buy Power Tower for $350 to clear it out. Oh, that's cool though. Wait, so you got to buy a discount I buy Power PC? That's pretty cool. So when I worked as a swim instructor, it was like this boutique gym, like gymnastics place that also had a swimming pool. And so I'd been a swimming instructor for a long time at this point. It was one of my longest running jobs, probably like 4 or 5 years that I'd done this. And I was on the swim team, and I had been a lifeguard and all that. So I knew what I was doing, but it was like you would sit in a small pool. It's not even that big. And you're trying to teach, and it's really crowded. And then the parents are sitting in a circle around you. And like the sounds good, Gio. The amount of parents who will come to their kid's defense for any reason is insane to me. Like, their kid is acting up, distracting the whole class, which can be a safety hazard when you're doing swim lessons. And so I'll be like, you got to sit in timeout. Like, you can't participate if you're going to do this. And, you know, I've warned you a few times, whatever, right? And then the parents will approach you and be like, hey, I'm paying for my kid to be here. Like, I don't care what they did. You got to teach them how to swim. And I'm like, excuse me. No, I don't. They're preventing everyone else from learning how to swim, so they can just hang out. But once I learned the trick of, how about you take it up with my manager? It completely revolutionized my experience, because then I'd just be like, oh, talk to my manager about this. And then they go rant and rave and try to get me fired. And then manager would be like, no, this is our policy. And then I wouldn't have to deal with it anymore, which was really a relief. But just the stress of having the parents sitting around you, just staring at you, really got to me. Not a fan of that. Not that I feel like you should be like, okay, I'm taking your children away and, whatever. But it's just like they're just intently staring at you while you're trying to teach their kids, and it's a lot of pressure. Rewarding too. I like teaching people how to swim. It's a very valuable skill that I have spent a lot of time learning, so whatever. This one simple trick. It's an option I passed on, tempting though. Overprotective parents are the worst. They promoted to lead over infants and girls' apparel. Okay. Oh, dang. Okay. I feel like kids' apparel too probably has the worst amount of like stuff left in the aisles. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. Or maybe shoes is that way. Because every once in a while you'll see like a, what are those discount Schnees or whatever shoe stores? Maybe not Schnees, but Payless. Is that what they are? And there's just shoes everywhere. And you're like, oh man, some poor soul has to clean this up because there are a bunch of, I don't know, animals in here rooting around. It's crazy. You know what's funny is I did actually apply at retail places when I was in college. I was looking for a job to help pay rent, and I applied at Staples 3 times because I was like stupid enough to think that, oh, well, I'm getting a computer science degree, and so Staples is probably a relevant field to work in. And they just denied me like 3 times in a row, and I was like, okay, I'm going to go make mattresses now. Which was for the best anyways, because they treated me a lot better. They paid me a lot better. Got to drive all over, which was fun. A ton of tiny things to fold. Stocking shoes means getting kicked in the face. Oh, that sucks. Yeah, I don't know what I was thinking either. Like, what a dumb thought. But yeah, I was just like, oh, Staples. Maybe I'll go sell people a $50 Ethernet cable. And somehow not compromise my morals while doing it. I don't know. I guess in my mind, I was thinking I would work in like tech support, but knowing now, like being in the software industry, that seems like a fate worse than death. Oh, true. Back to school. That's a good point. That would be awful. This will make you game faster. This Ethernet cable will increase this HDMI cable will make your video clearer, even though this is a digital signal. So there's no way that's even possible. Dude. It's amazing how like the tenets of analog media have like spilled into digital, and somehow people believe it. Power of placebo. It's so true. I spent $80 on this HDMI cable, therefore it must be better. It can't not be better. It's like I can kind of see it when you're like doing analog audio. There's probably a point at which a cable is so bad that it's worse. But like, there are people who spend thousands of dollars on cables for like a turntable setup. And it's insane. It's so dumb. In fact, one of my coworkers ordered, just out of sheer curiosity. I've never had the disposable income to satiate my curiosity in this way. But he's an electrical engineer, so he's like, I want to know if these cables are any better. So he ordered the shortest like premium turntable, like RCA cables he could get his hands on to just test them against a comparable super crappy pair of the same length. There was no electrical difference between them. And then he just gave them to me because he knew I had a turntable, and he didn't. And so I'm using them now just because I have them. But every time I look at them, I'm like, I hope no one sees this and thinks less of me that I have these cables. Because I think it was like a $200 pair of cables that are like 18 inches long, maybe. Ridiculous. But yeah, the whole digital thing makes no sense. All those Beats headphones have overpriced vibe. That's true. I've heard they've gotten a little bit better. Apple acquired Beats, which, not to say Apple is great at, you know, making audio products necessarily. They're good at making convenient products, but not necessarily products that sound particularly good. So I think they're still overpriced for what they are. But I've heard that they've gotten a little bit better than when it was just they were their own thing. But I don't know. I can't stand them. I'm definitely a bit of an audiophile myself, and it coincides with being a musician. So like I have these. I use custom in-ear monitors, so they're like molded for my own ears. And after using these, I don't think I can ever go back to like normal headphone, like earbuds of any kind. And even like over-ear headphones, I don't like as much as these, just because I don't know. I spent a lot of money on them, and they sound really nice, and I use them all the time. So, yes, okay. So between Bose and Apple, so I work with Bluetooth for a living, right? Like I write mobile applications that interface with things over Bluetooth. And let me tell you, it's a fate worse than death sometimes when it's just like Bluetooth can suck on its worst days. But somehow Bose and Apple have figured out how to make it a good experience. And I don't understand that. And I have a hunch that both of them are operating outside of the agreed upon. There's like an agreed upon protocol for the way Bluetooth works. I don't think either of them are adhering to that. And that's probably why they work so well. But yeah, like I have a Bose speaker that just works so well. Yeah, just the magic of the way that Apple makes their products work. Because I can sit here all day and be like, oh yeah, they don't sound as good, but these have wires on them. And 90% of phones don't have a headphone jack. So like, I have a Bluetooth adapter for these that I can plug them into to turn these into Bluetooth, but that's inconvenient. And it's prone to all the problems that, you know, every other Bluetooth pair of headphones have. So I don't think the argument's as valid if you're trying to say, you know, Apple products don't sound good. Well, it's like, okay, they sound good enough. And then they're so convenient that they're worth it. So I've never discouraged someone with an iPhone from buying AirPods. I've discouraged people with Androids from buying AirPods for sure, because that's a dumb idea. But they just make such a good experience, you know? How do I connect my IEMs to my PC? Yeah, so I have an audio interface. It's Behringer Euphoria, like one of the 8-channel ones. So like a rack. I have a rack down here with like networking equipment, so it's a rack-mounted audio interface. And that is what I plug my in-ears into. It has actually 2 headphone outs that are independent, so I can plug 2 separate audio devices into it. So, yeah, that's how I do it. But having said that, Behringer is definitely a budget brand for audio rack equipment. So I have this because I used to have a podcast where I would have regularly like more than 4 people, and so I needed a lot of or mic inputs. Yes, and these are 3.5. So I have an adapter to adapt it down, and I actually 3D printed a little thing. I wish I could show you, but like under my desk, right in front of me, there's a little headphone jack that's on like an adapter and an extender, so that I can plug them in like literally right in front of me, and so that I have the full length of my cable, which is nice. So 1/4 inch to 3.5 mil is the way to go in my opinion. Yeah, that works great. You can get, I mean, these here, I'll unplug this real quick. I have a billion of these things. The 1/4 inch to 3.5 mil. So that's, yeah, I have a lot of those. In fact, a lot of higher end headphones will come with one of those, and some of them will even have a threaded one, so you can actually like screw the adapter on so that it can't come off, which is really nice. So those are nice too. But at the same time, it's like I see you using AirPods, Geo, and I think, wow, that's convenient because I got a cable here that sometimes gets caught on stuff or whatever. Couldn't do a balanced XLR. Yeah, well, so a high enough end set of IEMs will have a removable cable. So like these ones, I can just pull this cable off and put a balanced cable on them. But the balanced ends are 2.5 millimeter or 4 millimeter, I believe, which are kind of scary because they're so small. If you get the 2.5, so yeah, if it's 3.5, it's not going to be a balanced cable. So yeah. I have no experience with XLR headphones, though. I use XLR for microphones, but I've never used it for headphones before. So, yeah. Anyways. But yeah, it's also nice having an 8 input audio interface because whenever I record my acoustic drums, I need to mic everything. So it's super nice having 8 inputs for that. So, I don't know. I could probably get... an audio interface with a better preamp than this, but I just am like an 8-channel version of something like the I don't know, something else would probably be around the $1,000, and I don't really want to spend that. So no, exactly, and that's what I have to do. It's like it's even worse when they're customs because like they're in there. Like when they're in there. So like if you yank on them, it would be very painful. Like you can kind of see how far down your ear it goes, you know. I had to go, so to get these done, I had to go to an audiologist in town and have them put goo in my ear. They stuck a little like cotton ball on a string in, and then they squeezed a bunch of goo in, let it harden, pulled it out by the string. Kind of uncomfortable, but it was fine. And then mailed them off to 64 Audio in Vancouver, Washington. The ear orthodontist, yep. And then yeah, they made these for me, so I love them though. They have like a walnut burl on the back. It's like real walnut, which is really nice. And then the fit's just amazing. Like when I put these in, I am isolated. I'm gone. Like I cannot hear a thing, which is super nice for when you're playing on stage because then I can be like, I only want to hear the vocalists and the bass player and the acoustic guitar, and that's it. And so you can get a perfect mix and not hear any of that other stuff, which that's exactly what I use these for. So. Yeah, it's good. It protects your ears too. I mean, that's one of the big things is like a lot of drummers go deaf by 50 because at least back in the old days, they weren't protecting their hearing because they wanted to hear, you know, the stage noise too. But I'm very particular about my ears because I don't want to ruin them, you know. I'm very auditory just in general, like the way that I learn, the way that I think and am is just very centered around audio and music and all that. So like I would feel, you know, like the locked in syndrome. I would feel that if I couldn't hear, I think. Just play a recording of the audio at a concert. Oh man. I actually have for concerts. They make musician earplugs that cancel all frequencies evenly, because if you just get the foam construction site ones and stick them in there, you'll hear mostly the bass but not a lot else. But these ones are rubber and they have a little insert in them that's a filter, and you can get different attenuations, so like how much are we filtering, and I wear those at concerts. Like I won't go to a concert without them because they're so loud there that like yeah, it would just be miserable. I do feel like though, at least in my experience, concerts would maybe still be fun if you were deaf, because the feeling of just getting punched in the chest by the bass and the visual experience of it is so cool that I think I could still enjoy it there. But yeah, it would just definitely be a different experience. Sounds good. Thanks for stopping by. I appreciate you, and I will I'll hit you up tomorrow. We'll get this bad boy sent out. But yeah, no, I don't know. Pretty picky about my ears. Also, the other nice thing is that these are obviously custom, so they're perfectly fit for my ears. And every year we have like an Easter concert at my church where it would be like 2 hours of rehearsal, or 3 sometimes, and then like an hour and a half to 2 hours of music that we play. So it's like 5 hours of wearing in-ears that are not custom. Gets very painful because they're not made for your ears. It's just a piece of rubber that's trying to expand enough to, you know, not fall out, which eventually wears on you. So these ones I could wear literally all day and not feel anything, which is awesome. There's no rubber part of them at all. They're just like a perfect seal and a perfect fit. So they do say that when you get older, your ears obviously never stop growing. So if you're like over 50, you might need a new pair every like 5 to 10 years, which would suck. Or if you lose a bunch of weight, you might need to get a new pair because that can also affect the shape of your ears. They also make sure that when you get the molds taken, your mouth is open because your ear canal is the largest when your mouth is open. And so if you don't do that, then if you open your mouth, it'll pop the seal, which kind of happens on my right one, but not enough to be like obnoxious. So anyways, that's something too. But these are so expensive that I would hate to have to get a new pair. Even every 10 years would be like, I don't know about that one, Chief. That's a lot. And my dad, who is over 50, he's an incredible musician. He's a saxophone player, guitar player, clarinet player. Actually, he played in the Macy's Thanksgiving Day Parade in New York in high school. But anyways, he got a set, and his are even more expensive than mine. And I'm like, geez Louise. That would suck to have to rebuy. WRT IEMs? What does WRT mean? With regards to... Oh, perfect. Yeah. Dude, let me show you something. I am like an IEM fiend. Hang on a sec. That's a copyright claim right there. Okay, here's my IEM box. No one man should have this many IEMs, but these are the ones that I own. I actually have a couple more than this, but they aren't in this box. So I love IEMs. However, after I got these customs, I'm like, well, that's it. I got the ones that I want. But I do have a spreadsheet where I list my favorite IEM at every price bracket. So that is something important to me because the market is saturated right now and there are great IEMs at every price point. So you have a budget, I have a recommendation. And even in a budget level, there's like different flavors too, you know. They all sound different and have different characteristics. So if you kind of have an idea of like what sound you like too, there's plenty of different sound signatures that you can get out of an IEM. So I personally love the most neutral, like Harman curve that I can get. So my preference tends to lean more that way. Like etymologic research. 6XSS. That's an over ear, right? The old Sennies. And those are very neutral. If I believe. or if I'm correct about that. Which, yeah, it's funny because I am like 598. Okay, I'm like very not knowledgeable about over ears. Like I have a passing familiarity, but like probably the highest end over ears that I own are AKG K240s, which I don't even think are in production anymore. But they're very flat open backs that are not expensive, but they're just really nice for like mixing and mastering super flatly. So yeah, that's what I like too. So yeah. So Moondrop Blessings, honestly, if you like a flat curve and you think your ear can fit the chonkers, the Moondrop Blessings are Blessing 2 specifically are amazing. And if you want a touch more bass, the Moondrop Blessing 2 Dusk Edition, which is Crinical's version, are amazing. These are the Blessing Dusks, but you can see how big they are, and they're not even a custom. So it's like if your ear doesn't like this, it will really not like this. So that's kind of the risk you take. I don't have tips on these at the moment either, but they're like these ones would wear on me after a while, but I could wear them for a good couple hours typically. So it all kind of depends on. Feel like customer bust. I mean, and there's also companies out there that make customs that like. So full disclosure, I spend a lot on these because I'm a musician. These are like $2,000, so certainly not cheap. But these also have 16 drivers in them, I think. So like I think there's companies out there that'll get you a good set of customs for like 600 USD or around. Would be like a good. In fact, I should talk to the bass player for the group I'm in who has I think 6 drivers that were around $600. I can't remember what brand they were, but they weren't 64 audio. Although I think, dude, honestly, so 64 audio, I love them, and I think that they make 64 audio. I think they make some in that range. Custom. Hold on. Yeah, dude, they make a 2 driver for 500 and then a 3 driver for 700. So you kind of jump past that. I think is it clear audio? Clear tune? I'll have to ask him. Here's the big tragedy. So the Chinese hi-fi market has some incredible stuff coming out of it. My favorite brand is Thai Audio, THIE Audio. And they make a pair of IEMs called the Clairvoyance and the Monarch. I have the pair of the Clairvoyance, and they're a little bit spendy. They're, I think, $700 for a pair. But previously, they're a tribrid design. So they have 3 different types of drivers. Things like these have balanced armature drivers, but dynamic drivers have a bit more bass. And then there's like a kinetic driver of some kind. So the Monarch and the Clairvoyance are both excellent. The Clairvoyance is a little bit closer to that natural curve, like the flat curve, than the Monarch is. But about a year ago, they offered for an extra $100, they would do a custom version of it. So it would have been $800 for like, I think it was a 9-driver tribrid, so 3 different types of drivers. And they sound so good. They sound almost as good as this for less than half the price. So if I could have gotten an $800 custom Thai Audio Clairvoyance, I would have been all over that. But unfortunately, right before I ordered, they stopped doing customs, which is a huge bummer. I think because they were absolutely overwhelmed because it was the best deal anyone was going to get, and it's just so much more work to do a custom, obviously. So I think that's what... And I've been in touch with Thai Audio and been like, are you ever going to do this again? Because if you ever do, I want some. And they're like, no, we're not ever going to do this again. So huge bummer for me because I just loved their products. But yeah, that's one that like... It's still honestly worth considering, even without it being custom, because it's just so good, and that price range is absolutely incredible. So yeah. Anyways, that's one of my strong recommendations. But it's funny because the Moondrop Blessing 2 Dusk is my pick from the $300 through $600 price point. Like, there's nothing even in like the $500 range that I don't think can compete with it. So it's so good that like if they offered a custom Blessing 2, like that would be insane. But I don't know. I think getting into, and this is probably what Thigh Audio encountered, but getting into the custom market is, I'm sure, very difficult because you have to offer support down the line, right? Like, you make the IEMs, which takes forever, and as time, it's like a very cost-intensive process. But then you have to be able to support the customers by, having them be able to send it back. Get the fit tuned, because they all offer those. 90-day fit guarantee. They'll adjust it for you or make you a whole new one if they have to, if it doesn't quite work. I don't know. That's a whole nother market. That's probably ID80. Let's pull up the build guide just to be clear about this. Yeah, go for it. Go for it. I did put AMA in my stream title. Do you have a streaming costume? Are you asking that because I'm always wearing this jacket? Because no, I don't. I just wear this jacket pretty much every day. Yeah. No, I really like this denim jacket, so I wear it constantly. Except for the summer. I don't wear it in the summer, but yeah. That's funny. PLSHLD screen. What is that? Whoop. All right. What do we got going on here? So this is interesting. Oh, the please hold. Yes. No, it is live. Like, it's just that I'm always wearing this. Okay. Yeah, I use an OBS plugin that when I hit the button, it takes a snapshot and creates a source out of it. Let me clean my hands a little bit. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. I'm going to get this so fingerprinty, but I have microfiber to bail me out. You can't use rubbing alcohol to clean the polycarbonate, I don't think. I'm pretty sure that would start to dissolve it a little bit. Okay. Man, they got this thing cling wrapped for days. It's like a sandwich from the deli. Ah! All right. I'm only dying. Okay, so we got PCB mount stabilizers that we will be swapping out for Durocks. So that is one step. It is currently not screwed in, which is good. Let's see. It is gasket mount, so let's see if we can find those. And then figure out what the heck is going on with everything else. So we got a couple spare hot swap sockets. That's handy. Extra screws. Little bump on feet. Other extra screws. Wow. And then I believe this is a wrist rest. I don't want to get my finger. Yes, it is. I won't get my fingies all over this. But this is a clear wrist rest. How neat is that? I actually haven't seen any of Hypotech's coverage of this. So this is all new to me. So if I've got the big dumb, let me know and I will fix this. Also, it seems like there's 2 sets of feet. I would imagine one of them sounds good. One of them is for the wrist rest, probably. And then okay, someone who's seen. Oh, are these the gaskets, bro? These are squishy, so I'm guessing they're the gaskets. I was thinking because I built a couple keyboards where they have like an acrylic light pipe, basically, and I think these are the gaskets. Coiled cable. Cool. All right. So, this is just how to install. Violent installation of the switch will cause the PCB motherboard pad to fall off, and the motherboard will be scrapped at your own risk. Not true. You can fix a ripped pad. No problemo. I have done it. You have to glue the socket down because the thing that's holding it won't hold it anymore, but you can fix it. Do not scrap a PCB just because you ripped a pad off. Okay. I'm guessing those are the gaskets because they seem to be the exact correct length to kind of... Used to have the ugly gasket. I have seen screenshots of this where it had... Yeah. Oh, these are tasty. It had like black or gray gaskets that were very obvious. But yeah, these are definitely the gaskets and they seem nice. All right, and then let's figure out what all the screws are for. So there's standoffs here, and I'm guessing these go between the plate and the PCB. Like that makes sense to my brain. My brain will taste that little treat and say that's a tasty treat. So I think yeah, there's no standoffs here. There is plate foam, and there's one example screw holding this together. 2. So that's good. And then that's probably a reset pin hole. Yes, it is. And so that's probably what these 2 sets are for, is a screw, yep, on either side. Round head on the bottom. Recessed head on the top. Makes sense. Interestingly, well, maybe they are the same quantities, but they don't really look like it. And then long screws probably go through the bottom. Okay, I'm feeling good. I'm feeling fun and fit and fabulous. So let's disassemble this. And then... lube some stabilizers once I get these ones out of it. We can probably also install the standoffs on the PCB. Okay. I think we just have to pop this off these stabs. Cool. Polycarb plate. Plate foam. Very nice. And then, yeah. So let's grab the button head screws, which are not those. It's these. Oh, the sax man. He's tripping. And then let's grab these. And let's do a bit of an install there. They seem to have been very generous with the small parts. Something tells me that there are way too many standoffs for this, but that's good. I don't think this is my first Idobao board, actually. I'm pretty sure I've built a couple of these in the past. But this is definitely the most premium feature set wise. We'll see how the typing experience is. Okay. Guys, can I tell you a tragedy that happened to me today? So, I was at work. I was tired, and I was like warming up my car because it was I think 8 degrees below 0 Fahrenheit. So, whatever that is Celsius. And I did not want to be in my car at the time. So, I'm sitting there at work and I was like, "You know what I'm feeling like? I'm feeling like door dashing on your ID80. Nice. Let's go. I'm excited to get this built. This is for a client, but I am really hyped to get to be able to type on it. So I'm sitting inside at work while my car is warming up because, yeah, it's like 8 below Fahrenheit. And I'm like, you know what I want right now? I just want Chipotle. So I got on DoorDash. Never ordered Chipotle on DoorDash in my life. So placed the order. I got a little confused when I had to pick my meats. And then it was all just a rush. I didn't know what was going on. I'm bad at DoorDash, but I placed the order. Got some chips with queso. And I got a burrito bowl with chicken. And then I order it, hop in my car, drive home. Start organizing my record collection at that time. Decided that would be a good idea for some reason. And then, 20, 30 minutes later, a knock at the door. And I'm like, fantastic. Here's my DoorDash. Open it up. Lovely. Got the chips. Great. Got the queso. Fantastic. Here's the burrito bowl with an aluminum top. And I'm like, dang, this feels light. And then the label on it says, bowl chicken. And I'm like, what does that mean? Bowl chicken. And I open it up, and it is a bowl that only has chicken in it. And I was like, wait a minute. What happened? Like, how did Chipotle mess this up so badly? And then I look at my DoorDash order, and I had failed to provide a preference for anything other than the meat on my burrito bowl, which meant that since every ingredient apparently on a Chipotle burrito bowl is optional, I had only selected the chicken. So I just had a bowl of chicken there with nothing else, and I was devastated. But fortunately, I had a bunch of like cabbage and some lime sauce and stuff from having tacos earlier in the week. So I was able to chuck all that in there with it. But man, I was bummed that I paid $8 for a bowl of chicken. Come on, Bray. All right, so we're popping off the OG stabs here. And we will swap them out for Durock stabs, which we will lube and tune until they feel nice. Come on. Oh. These are adhesive O-rings, and this one kind of got away from me. Okay. I think that's all of them. So these are the original stabs. I believe it's a 6.25 and 3 2U stabilizers. So let's get started on those. Lovely. All right. So, into the stabilizer box we go to procure the finest stabs in the land. Let's first of all make sure this is indeed a 6.25U. Yes. We'll get a pair of these. And then two 2Us. Or 3, excuse me. So we get 3 pairs of these. 1, 2, and that's a black one, so we'll go with the gold. 3, and then we just need 4 sets of these inners. So 1, 2, 3, 4. Perfect. There we go. The next thing I need is my little slab. Which we will use to balance the stab wires. A couple pliers. Oh, also I need the screws here. What am I doing? The O-rings are already taken care of, but I do need the screws. And I need the BDZ. That's actually pretty close. What tray is that? Do you mean the mat here or this thing? Because if you mean this thing, I have no idea. I've had this for a long time. Let's see if we can find out together. If there's any indication what this is. This is just like a little tackle box thing that I probably got at Target or something. I don't know. But this is an American Haptics desk mat. And it has the top components. In fact, I can link this for you here. It's the Casper colorway, I believe. Work mats. Here we go. Solid color work mat. Oh, it's actually Casper the mat. This is the exact one that I'm using right now. There you go. But they offer, you know, custom drip ones that have like, you pick two colors and then they make them, they drip them together. Kind of the Halloween board special. He's got the black and green one. Yeah, for sure. Then they have just a solid color one. I mean, they're not cheap, but they are really nice. Like, I really like it. It's so big, and the pockets are pretty deep. So, yeah. In my opinion, totally worth the money. So, yeah. You got it, dude. Happy to help. All right. I think this is actually a case of the wire itself being bowed. So we'll fix that without twisting the wire at all. In my experience, that's a more common issue than them being unstable. That needs to go up a little bit. Okay, and then the whole wire needs to get bent a tiny bit. Okay. Oh! Thank you for the follow. I love RedTube. Appreciate it. I think we're getting there. So if you don't know what I'm doing, I'm using this. This is like a jeweler's slab, I guess. I think they make jewelry on this, but it's very flat. And so I am balancing the stab wire by pressing on both sides. I'm using tweezers because there's oils on my fingers that'll stick to the wire and kind of mess it up a little bit. But the overall idea is that you want this thing to sit completely flat. So the theory is that if you can touch it and it sort of wobbles, that means it's not flat. So, and then these are amazing. These are parallel action pliers. So these two plastic pads are always parallel, meaning that you don't end up putting unequal pressure on it when you grab the wire. So between those two, between this pair of pliers, and the slab, you're able to pretty effectively balance stabilizer wires, I find. So yeah, if it looks like I'm a crazy person, I am, but it's cool. All right, that feels pretty good. All right. So this is these pliers. These are called parallel action pliers. In fact, let me search. I got them on Amazon. I got both the slab and the pliers on Amazon. But also these here we go. Syringes work pretty well, but I've just found these to be a little bit easier. Wait, what? Hold on. I will find these. Don't you worry. Oh, got him. Mazbot is the brand. These guys. And then this is the slab that I use. A lot of people use their phones. Wildcat does that, but I don't know. I like the slab a little bit better. So there you go. All right, let's get these bad boys painted up. So we'll hit them with Cryotox on the inside of the stab housing, and then I usually will use Cryotox grade 2 on the inside of the stem, but I got some BDZ and I've been liking it so far. So we'll stick with that for this build and see how she goes. Shout out to Prevail Kiko for carrying BDZ in reasonable quantities. Phone guy, yep. Dude, for sure. It's like, the nice thing is, I don't know if you've thrown a desk mat in the wash, but you totally can machine wash a desk mat. It's just, you know, if you don't have more than one, then you don't have a desk mat. Honestly, sometimes I'm like, should I just wear gloves while I do this? Because I don't like getting cryotox on my hands. And then there's Apiary, who puts it on the back of her hand, or used to. I don't know if she still does. Every time I saw that, I'm like, you're going to die. Probably not. I'm sure she knows what she's doing. She's an expert. But still, I'm like, eee. That seems like it's just soaking in there. One more housing. Do I have too many? No, I don't. I don't. We're good. Okay. You also get a paper towel on deck. Still have to do these guys, but You know what I'm realizing right now? It's been probably months since the last time I did a holy mod. Because I usually only do them when a client wants them. Or I have a particularly unruly 7U stabilizer. And honestly, that's so nice. I don't particularly like doing that mod. But obviously I'll do it if a client wants me to. But in this case, this client does not or did not ask for this particular mod. So it's also one that like you kind of have to break in. So I always have to warn people about that. Like if you ask for this and then it feels weird and mushy when you first get it, you can send it back and I'll fix it, but maybe wait a month before you do that. Because it is going to change as that Band-Aid like wears in, you know? All right. One more housing. I remember there was a stream once where I pre-lubed the stabilizers. And like, maybe that's a good idea. But also I did just spend the first like 2 hours of stream lubing the switches. So it's like relative to that, this is very insignificant. Okay. Let's now clean this brush and switch over to the BDZ. That's the next step. So we're done with the Crytox. We are swapping to BDZ, which, like I said last time, like this kind of surprised me how thick with 2 C's it is. It is heckin' thick. I am in the United States, but I might as well be in Canada because I live in Montana. It is cold and snowy for me right now. There we go. Like marshmallow paste. Oh, you can't even see what I'm doing. Apologies. Yeah, a lot of people haven't, but it is nice here. Watch Yellowstone. I actually haven't watched that yet. A lot of people moved here, though, during the initial lockdowns, though. A lot of people from California came here. Kind of one of the benefits of everything going remote, right, is that, like, I can kind of live wherever I want to, so people just sort of went wherever, but... I should watch Yellowstone just because I actually get that a lot from people who have not been here. It's like, oh, I have seen, you know, this show about Montana or that one. Was it good? Did you like it? Is it? All right. Well then, having not even seen the show, that's my daily life, you know? I'm guessing it's about horses and cowboys and guns, and let me tell you, it still is that way here. Absolutely. I'm the only person in Montana with a computer. There is nudity, though? Oh, okay. Gotcha. It's usually a deal breaker for me. You know what's funny? So when I was in high school, I got a scholarship from Coca-Cola, and they sent like 2 high schoolers from every... No, it wasn't. I don't think that was the ratio. There were only 2 of us from Montana. I think it was 200 high schoolers in the U.S. got to all go down to Atlanta and hang out. And the amount of people who were like asking if we had cars, unironically, was insane. Like I started lying to people because I found out they would believe anything. Like I told them, yeah, well, in Montana, when you turn 16, you can buy guns out of vending machines. And people were like, wow, that's crazy. Imagine if we had that here. And it was like, of course that's not true. But, you know, they'd never met someone from Montana. And I was like, oh, yeah. When I was in high school, a friend of mine killed a deer by jumping out of a tree with a Bowie knife. And they were like, what? No way. That's insane. And then I kind of did that for a while until eventually they caught on that I was lying. And then I tried to tell them about beefalo, which is a cross between buffalo and bison, or buffalo and cows, in an effort to make like a more sustainable way to eat bison where you're not killing off an endangered species. And they did not believe me because I had cried wolf too many times and I had said too many things that weren't true. So, you know, I had to send out the Wikipedia article on that one to try to save my reputation, but the damage was done. And I learned my lesson, which is that you can only lie a little bit, not a lot, before people start to doubt your credibility. But this is not a lie. In light of that story, I realize that you may not believe me, but a friend of mine's dad in high school, Nathan, was a chronic liar. Get out of here, Elvin. How you doing, man? Good to see you. If you're not following this guy, what's wrong with you? A friend of mine's dad was hunting, and when you hunt in the woods in Montana, you use a tree stand. So basically, you tie yourself to a tree, and then you wait for a deer to walk by, and then you shoot him, right? Or an elk. But Ayo, he was getting stalked by a mountain lion. Breh. So there was this mountain lion that was just hanging out underneath the tree that was waiting for him to come down or going to go up there and try to kill him. So you have to have tags to shoot different types of animals, and that's how they regulate how many of them can be shot at any given year, because Fish, Wildlife, and Parks tries to they regulate how many of any kind of animal can be around, because otherwise the ecosystem goes crazy. Like most of our wolves in Montana are Canadian wolves that are way bigger than the Rocky Mountain wolves that are supposed to be here, because they were brought in by people who didn't know the consequences of this. So if there were too many of them, they would destroy the entire elk and deer population, and there'd be no food left for any of them, and so both populations would die. So anyways, because of that, they'll regulate this, right? But you can't shoot an animal if you don't have a tag for it, because otherwise you're acting outside of the regulation. But this mountain lion was stalking him, and he knew it was going to kill him, so he ended up just shooting it from his tree stand. And then the Fish, Wildlife, and Parks then has to do an investigation and make sure that you were actually in danger and all this other stuff. But they taxidermied it, and so when I was in high school, it was hanging on the wall in my high school, and I got to look at it. And they're big, man. They're big cats, dude. Mountain lions are no joke. Elvin, have you seen? Do I own a lot of keybs? Yes, I do. I own probably 40-ish keyboards or so, I want to say. So, lately, there was a scene like that in Yellowstone. Okay, interesting. Yeah, dude, they're so scary, man. But yeah, no, lately I've been just doing client builds, which is nice because then I don't have to have so many keyboards, but I get to try a lot of keyboards. But yeah, I do own too many. And every couple months I'll go on Reddit and I'll sell off a bunch of them, and then a new batch will come in and I'll build them on stream and what have you. But yeah, that is my workflow, I suppose. I have a bunch of personal builds that are backlogged though, so if I ever have a dip in client work, then I will dip into the personal stuff. Also, bears are pretty scary. I've only seen a couple in the wild, but they're pretty scary. The scariest bear to see is a baby bear. Because if there's a baby bear and you can't see its mom, or you can, doesn't matter, then you know there's an incredibly protective mother bear somewhere who will kill you and not even think twice about it. So you have to wear a bell, or because a lot of times bears, unless they're, unless they have cubs, they will try to avoid people. So you just have to wear a bell or make noise, talk with your friends while you're hiking. And that way they'll hear you and then avoid you, because they don't want to see you any more than you want to see them. They're just trying to protect themselves and their cubs and whatever. So, it's just one of those kind of like sharks, right? You just got to respect them and they'll respect you kind of deal, and understand that you're sort of in their world. And also the ability to identify the species of bear is very important, because like if it's a black bear, they're kind of wimpy. So you can act aggressive and they'll run away. If it's a grizzly bear, you might as well play dead, because then you're going to be dead very soon, because they don't mess around. Okay, stabilizer's done. This is a very morbid stream. I should not be talking about this. I remember when I lived in Minnesota, there was a 2-hour seminar about not petting baby bears. Yes, they're so cute, though. How could I resist? I remember at summer camp one year, a friend and I... Actually, it's the same friend whose dad shot a mountain lion. We paddled a canoe out to a little island, and there encountered a baby bear. And we were like, uh-oh. I don't think it was an actual island. I think it was like a little peninsula kind of deal. But yeah, we got off the canoe, walked on the shore, and like 30 feet away, out of the bushes comes a baby bear. And we just got in the canoe and got out of there, because we're like, nope. Not going to die today. I feel like in Minnesota, you're more likely to drown than die of a bear attack. There's so many lakes there. Holy cow. I've only been there once. I know bears can swim. That's the scary part. We were just imagining a scenario. Like, I think our best bet at that point was like, hopefully the baby bear stays on shore and then the mama bear stays with the baby, because then will survive. But like, imagine just like trying to paddle away desperately in a canoe, and then a bear just swims out after you faster than you can paddle, and then just tips your canoe. Bruh. I ain't about that life. But can bears canoe? That's the real question. I don't know. I have seen videos of bears using tools before. Not like the way a monkey would or something, but still. Messing around with a stick, using it to smack stuff or whatever. I feel like I would just be desperately smacking the bear on the head with my paddle and just making the whole situation worse for myself. Or I would try to flip the canoe over onto the bear's head and then swim away while it tries to figure out how to get out. Maybe that's the move. I don't know yet. I hope I never have to know. You know what is another very scary animal to encounter, which I have encountered? I was out paintballing and I encountered a moose, and moose will kill you. They don't give a rip. And I was young enough that I wasn't fully aware of how dangerous they were, and I was like, should I shoot this moose with a paintball? Which would have been so stupid. But did you know that moose are the natural prey of orcas, aka killer whales? Because in Alaska, moose will swim from island to island, and the orcas will grab them while they're swimming. That's insane, dude. Like, I think about that a lot. What a thing to witness. Imagine you're out canoeing and you see an orca below you, or a moose swimming past you rather, and you're like, oh dang, and then whoosh, it's just gone underwater. And then you're like, there's always a bigger fish. Okay, I think it's these screws that go on the top. I heard when you're diving, it's better to swerve away from the moose. Or driving. Yes, for sure. In fact, did you guys see that Mythbusters episode where they tested if you have a low enough car? They were like, the theory is if you speed up fast enough, you will knock the legs out from under the moose and just drive right under it. And that's really not possible. Like, not really. You can try, but they couldn't get it to happen even with like a convertible. But yeah, hitting a moose is like sometimes deadly for the driver because they're just so big. And also sometimes, I think I saw an image of a car that has ran into a moose and the front engine was gone. Yeah, dude, sometimes, and this has happened to friends of mine here, deer will run into the side of your car. Like they'll just be sitting in the ditch by the side of the road, and then they'll just sprint out of the ditch and slam into the side of your car because they're like, suddenly get the impulse like, oh, I can make it across the road. And then it's like, well, I'm already here. I don't know. It's weird. Here's what I'm wondering right now. What are these holes for on the plate? Let's check. Let's pull out the housing. I bet they're for screws to go through. You've hit 5 deer in 4 years? I am sorry. That is a lot of deer. Looks like screws run through them. What is going on here? Bit of clearance issue. There we go. Cool. That's better. That is so many deer. Where do you live that there are that many deer? This guy, yeah, the Idobao 80 crystal. A very cool board. Putting it together for a client, and I'm excited to see how it sounds. I think this is hot off the press from Drop, I want to say. I don't know if it ran Pennsylvania. Okay. Dang. All right. Yeah, the New England area has got a lot of deer too. I didn't really realize that until I heard what comedian was making jokes about it? Bill Burr, I think, who lives in New York, was talking about like how many deer there are. Yeah, that's a good call. I got greasy fingers and I'll need a microfiber for sure to wipe this down. But these are cool little gaskets. They're little cylinders that are clear. Yeah, I've already got like stuff on this board. Appreciate the tip. Especially because I'm sending this back to a client, so I want this to look nice. I like the brass weight, and it is cool also that it comes with a wrist rest. So you put it together, the insides push against each other, and you can't see it. Yeah. Oh, cool. That's pretty slick. Because I'd seen screenshots of other ID80 crystals before this that had like a gray gasket. I think Filet was talking about that. And this one does not. So even more crystal than the other one. But I think I'll also want to wipe down the insides. Oh yeah, the inside. You said that. Good. Because I think I'm going to entomb a fingerprint in here if I'm not careful. Dude, I have not hit a deer yet, knock on wood, but I do remember once I was driving home and one ran across the road, and it was like, you see it coming in front of your car and you're like, well, that's it. And then a truck coming the other direction just cleaned it off the road. It was so scary. That guy got messed up, but when you put the top part of the case on, grab it by the sides. Okay, so that I'm not like touching this part. That makes sense. Getting my big old greasy hands all over that part. Also, do you know, does this just come with a ton of extra parts, or am I missing something? Because I feel like I have a lot of extra screws here and here that I don't see a use for at this moment, but if I'm missing something, I definitely want to. I think I have 3 extra gaskets too. Nope, these 2 need them. Yeah, there's tons of extras. Okay, good. It's like when you're building a Lego set, or you're like taking something apart and putting it back together, and you just have extra stuff left over, and you're like, did I do this wrong, or what? Okay. So here's what we're gonna do. We're gonna start with this guy. Take out the old whoosh microfiber. Wipe down every interior surface that I can, just to keep it clean and nice and free of dust and dirt and fingerprints that I have invariably schmoozed all over this thing. There's a little bit of crud on the bottom side, but I believe the inside is good. Okay. Then we'll take the PCB assembly. Those tiny black screws, there are 2 types. Yeah, I did see they had a couple pre-installed, so I was able to figure out which ones were top and bottom. Because the top ones are those funnel screws that fit in the chamfer, which is good. And I think I have all those in. 1, 2. I don't see any exposed standoff, so I think we're good. Stabilizers are installed and working correctly. Okay, So now we'll touch this by the sides only. And oh, did you guys hear that? I zapped everything with my headphones. Clean off the inside here like such, and then no longer touch this portion of the board. Okay. Looking spiffy. I didn't put in all the standoffs. I'm not sure if it does anything either way. I would imagine that probably mostly what it would do would be kind of change the feel of the board a little bit in terms of how much play the plate can have. Okay. Top is installed. Now I just need to flip it over and put in the long screws. Okay. We got her flipped. And then it's these guys, I believe. Yeah, there's a couple. Yeah, exactly. There's a couple hot swap sockets and diodes in here, which is cool. That's really nice of them. 3 different switches and a few setups. What was your favorite? These are Halu halos. If you're coming from Discord, I accidentally put Holy Pandas, but we put those in the build last week, and I had a brain fart, and I misspoke with my hands. Okay. I think only one screw left. And the next thing I want to check is how well the stabilizers work, how they feel. So we have 3 leftover gaskets. My favorite is Akko CS Blue. Okay. I have the foam in here still. ABS caps, polycarb plate, and pour on foam between PC and plate. Okay. Cool. Let us pop a couple. These are Halu halos that are basically just JWK recolors as far as I can tell. So let's pop these in on the stabilized keys and try them out. These are feeling really smooth. I lubed them earlier on stream with Kratox 205, G0, and stabs are lubed with grade 0 and BDZ. Okay. So I don't need this anymore. Don't need that anymore. Don't think I need this anymore. Let's pop a couple. I believe this is DSA Magic Girl, I want to say. Other switches were linears. My favorite was the tactiles. I love tactile switches. I love Neapolitans and Bobas. Ooh. That's nice. Let's try this one. Nice. How about this one? Switch wasn't quite seated properly. Oh, I think it needs to be a little bit smaller. Like this. Yeah. Haven't used a heavy tactile switch, just browns like years ago. Gotcha. Yeah, I'm a fan. I do like me a good tactile. Okay. Let's pop in some more switches. I suppose I should also make sure the PCB works, huh? I have not soldered anything onto this PCB, so I will assemble and then I'll pull up VIA. Akko CS blues are dealing for 4 months. Are those linear or tactile? I feel like they're probably linear because I don't remember seeing Akko make tactiles, but I don't know. Could be very wrong about that. Tactiles. Okay. Cool. Well, cool then. I should try those out because I'm a tactile guy, but I'm a picky tactile guy, and I'm always on the hunt for the best budget tactiles. Currently, T1s are my favorite budget tactile, but haven't tried them all. Paid $24 and change for 90 switches shipped from Akko. What? That's a deal. Holy cow. That's like what you pay for the mystery bag from Novelkeys that just has box jades in it. You know? I don't know if you've seen that. They have like a grab bag that you pay bottom dollar for, and then they send you whatever. You don't get to know. And most people have been getting box jades. Or the Silk series of switches from Novelkeys, which I think are pretty decent linears. I don't know. I have a Novelkeys NK65 Milkshake Edition that I have yet to lube. So we'll see. Make a stream out of that someday. Tune it up. It's got PCB mount or plate mount stabs. So maybe swap those out for some nicer stabs, but I don't know that I've ever even tried an Akko switch now that I think about it. I've tried a lot of the budgeter ones like TC, TTC, and the like, but haven't tried Akko. Sold the second I got it and bought the board you're working on currently. Okay, nice. Cool. Yeah, this is a pretty cool looking board so far. My greatest fear for it is fingerprints, but hopefully my client, I imagine, is a bit of a cleaner person than I am. They're so cheap it's worth trying. Yeah, no, that's true. And I don't hate box jades or any of the, you know, ones that you get from Novelkeys, but I'd rather know what I'm getting. So yeah, I'm definitely interested in trying those out. Akko is, I mean, I've seen them around a lot. In fact, I think I've seen Akko switches in pre-built boards that you can get on like Amazon. You didn't like them until you put the PE foam in. Okay. Good to know. I like me a good pop. They have a newer version, but it's just a mid-weight tactile. Okay. Well, you know, I mean, I'm never mad about a lightweight switch either. Like the, I'm daily driving the Boba LTs in the 55 gram weight. That was the only one they had available. I probably would have gotten a heavier one if I could have. But I love them, honestly, at 55 grams. So. You can definitely see the gaskets working, which is cool. I've never seen a gasket style like this. I mean, it's kind of like the O-ring with the giant gummy O-ring, you know, but just in little pieces of it, I guess. I don't know. Okay. All right. Cool. Hey, Elvin, you still here? Just giving you a quick heads up, buddy. It's almost time for a speed cap. Ooh, look at that. Okay, so these are mine. I don't want to lose these. All the other components I'm going to put back into this bag while the device enumerates, and I will also launch via. Do you see I just freaking sniped that? I typed via without any keycaps on. How on earth? I've never successfully done that before. As soon as the keycaps are gone, my brain turns into a puddle. Okay, accessories are bagged. Looks like this is actually a VIA compatible board, which is very convenient for reprogramming purposes. So that means we can actually test the full matrix of the board. So let's pull that up. All right. Oh, this key doesn't work. It's probably a bent pin. Yes, sir. Usually is. We'll fix him, but let's swap it out real quick. Good. Tab. There we go. Very cool. So if you were here last week, I was testing out a board and I was checking. It was an HHKB layout. So it was a board I wasn't familiar with. It was a Tokyo 60 for a client. And I was like trying to figure out what all the key combos were. And I hit function escape, which for whatever reason was mapped to shut down PC and almost ended my stream. So that was fun. Panicking, trying to prevent Windows from actually shutting down. Fix this stem here. For this pin, I mean. Fortunately, Windows has that. Hang on, I'm trying to shut these down. Mode. and it saved the day. Okay. Let me clean up my workspace a little bit. I mentioned at the top of the stream, but that also stopped the VOD from recording to my PC because I have it simultaneously capture to my PC so I can post it to YouTube. That way, like if Twitch mutes for copyright purposes, it doesn't affect the YouTube. But that was corrupted, so I had to go dumpster diving to Twitch and ended up with 6 minutes of muted audio, which was great. Okay, so I'm gonna pull up a photo of this keycap set because I mean it's all constellations and stars and whatnot, so I just want to make sure that I'm putting. Wait, what is this? Maybe it's not Magic Girl. Drop keycaps. I know I've seen it on Drop. Astrolokeys. That's what it is. Here's what this is. Okay. So the back could be this one instead. But I think, and I have this one on backwards. But other than that, I'm okay. All right. Oh boy, these Astrolokeys are going to kill me, aren't they? Prepare yourself for the worst speed capping time I've ever posted in my life, but either way, here we go. I think we're ready. No, we're not. I need to start a timer on my phone. I have a lot of notifications. Please hold. All nonsense. That's nonsense. Okay. Stopwatch. Here we go. I'm gonna mute the music. Start. Okay. Easy. Softball. That's a gimme. I don't think that one goes there. Where does it? Oh, is this? No, that doesn't fit. Okay, I'm already panicking. Let's put this one here. That's cute. 7. Tilde. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Also, is this jazz too loud? It might be too loud. How about that level of jazz? That seems like better jazz. Okay. This guy. Which the pipe goes to the top. Yes. Okay. Star guy. I don't know. Here. Beautiful. This thing. That looks like an alt to me. QWERT. Perfect. This thing. Maybe that. Love it. This thing. Maybe this. Yes. This. Perfect. Oh, what is that? I don't need that. Moon. I don't think I need a moon. Plus bar. Don't need that. Z. I do need that. That's a numpad 7. Little planet. I don't know yet. Uh-oh. Elvin. He found us in time. Step caps. Don't need it. A little... shooting star. Don't need that. Don't need that. We do need this. 1, 2, 3. Right? No. The other one. Oh, I'm already messing it up. Period goes on the bottom. Slash on its own. Don't need that. Moon. I don't know yet. I don't think I need that. Oh boy. What is this thing? There. Z, X, C, Q, W, E. Frank. I love him. Another moon. There's so many moons in here. I don't think I need this. Arrow keys. I do like those.
Bruh.
What is happening? Well, no time to explain. I'm trying to cap this board as fast as possible, but the drummer is making me go faster. This one goes here. This one goes here. Plus equals goes here. 8 goes here. There's so many symbols in this kit. This is like a weird M thing, but it's different than the other M thing. It goes on the end. I like the new Elven flashing so much. Okay, underscore that. This here. This here. P T Y U I O P. That I think works. I messed it up last time. C V B. A S D F G H J. Nice. Asdiff. Q and the dash I don't need. QWE. D and M. How did we get this perfect spacing on the bottom? I don't know. X. A little star. Love this star. I don't think I need this humongoid shift key. Little star. Don't know. 1. Ooh, I know where that goes. 5 probably goes here. And then another moon. So many moons. Pipe. That don't need that one. Tilde. Yes, do need that. Hip. Flash. Oh, I can fix that. This is gonna add to our time, but I can fix that. This turns off. That turned off. Okay. Flash will now work properly. Arrow thing pointing up to the right. That goes here. Little ramen packet. That goes over here. This thing, the fountain, goes over here. Oh, I think this is the shift key for this. Yes, love that. Like it, gotta have it. The question mark. My lights are going insane now, I can't see. H. H goes before J. Don't need this 3 for the star. Colon. Boy, I've already messed. Nope, I haven't. I almost took that key off. D. That goes here. That's not a Z. That's an N. B, 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 N. Give me that bread, Frank. Square bracket. Love that. Need it. I don't know what that is. That's not a one I want. I think that's an O, not a 0. W. Ooh, that's part of QWERTY. I like QWERTY. The Y for QWERTY. The other square bracket. Already at 5 minutes. I'm so much slower than last time. This is a 6. There. Ooh, the basketball symbol. Where does that go? At the end. Another arrow. I like that. What is the N with the growth on it? It's got a goiter. Another moon. 2. Ooh, we'll take a 2. R. That's an important part of QWERTY. JKL. G goes before H. These have to be letters, please. Asdiff. U. Oh boy. Where is... Oh, I think I threw away the I, but it's this. Okay. We're getting close. Here's a yo-yo. The yo-yo goes here, like that. And then the 0 goes here, but other way around. And then... Oh boy, it's a horseshoe. Lucky Charms, that goes here. And then a 4 here. Where's the 3? Did I chuck the... Oh, here's the 3. Okay, I just need a tab, which is a moon, which would be this. And I need a caps lock, which is a star, which would be this. And then I need an escape, which is a little twinkle, which would be this. And then I just need to fill out the rest of these with maybe a purple moon and a planet. Time. Did we get it? Did we get it? I think we got it. 7 minutes, though. Not a great time, but not the worst time. How's it going, Frank? Good to see you. Boy, that was some nonsense. I apologize, Ryan915, for the pandemonium you've encountered on Twitch. I promise the vibes are normally chiller, but you have to have 7 minutes of chaos every once in a while. We're getting a cheesecake. Let's go. All right, let's bag up the rest of these. We did good work today, everybody. Frickin' cheesecake. Are you kidding me? I love cheesecake. Okay. Oh, there's an eyeball in here, and I didn't use it? Are you kidding me? That's way better. Not up to me, though. Okay. I think it's time for ye old with an E sound test. Don't you? Okay. Gotta bag up these caps. You know what I also think would be fun? There's a little typing game that I like to play. It's like it's like asteroids kind of thing, but with typing. So I think we should play that on stream too. I don't have a scene for that, so I don't know if it's gonna fit, but that's okay. Let's pull up monkey type, and let's plug this board in. Whoop, that was staticky. Yeah, maybe I'll just do that. Oh, my camera froze. Froze. Did y'all see that? Hold on. We can fix this. Unplug. Wait a minute. Replug. Go to the face cam scene. I'm frozen. Hold on. Hey, we're back. Okay. So let's pull up monkey type. And I'm curious if this scene will work. Kind of. Let's just go to the speed test scene. There we go. Okay. Let's mute this. Oh, everything's breaking. Please hold. MIDI mapping. Icon. There we go. Okay. So let me turn off the compressor so you can hear all my tasty room noise. All right, how's that? All right, so this is the Idobao ID80 crystal with Halu Halo switches, lubed with Cryotox 205G0, Durock V2 stabs, and DSA Astrolokeys. All right. That sounds good to me. I like that. Yeah. I dig it. It's pretty muted, but it feels really good though. It has a nice squish to it that the gaskets are like, because sometimes there's like honorable mention gaskets where, in my opinion, they're there just so you can advertise it's a gasket, but it's hard as a rock and it doesn't really feel like anything. These, I think, do a much better job. And it has the foam between the plate and the PCB, so that helps a little bit too. Okay. Let us see if this works. Let me do this real quick. You're going to see some behind the scenes. We'll get to find out how the sausage is made. And I'll type this on my normal steed because I don't think that really matters too much. Okay, so I'm going to go in here. I'm going to add a scene called Z-type, which is nothing. We're in the void here, everybody. Then we're going to add a scene to it. Where's that scene? And we'll find the monitor 2. Perfect. Then we'll crop it to this part of the window like this. And then put it right here and transform center horizontally. You with me? And then we go to speed test. No, let's go to YouTube and duplicate. And we'll call this 10 Z-type. And then we'll swap out the YouTube. Yes. And we'll add scene Z-type. Boom. How you like that? Okay. So this is a game which, having said that, I think this music's a little inappropriate. You know? We need something epic for this so that we get involved. Okay. That seems good. Whoop. There we go. This is called Return of the Hero. Ready? Okay. Round 1, we're good. It gets harder, trust me. Here we go. The bigger ones will shoot littler things at you. You gotta watch out. Wave 4 clear. So far, so good. Maybe. Boom. Woo! Woo! Find your axe, help me. We're alive. I usually can get to like wave 18. I don't know, but it's a good flute. That was close. Are you sweating? Woo! Wait, 14 clear? I was messing up there. Ho, 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 ho. I have an ace in the hole. You can hit enter 3 times. So I just use 1. I only get 3 of those, so the number in the bottom corner is how many I have left. Oh boy, oh boy, oh boy, boy. Got our second lifeline. We only got 1 more of those. And then we're done. But we're on wave 19. Okay. 1 more. Oh, no, we're out of lives. Oh, we're dead. All right. Oh, that's Mercy from Overwatch. Copyright. Can't show that. That was fun. Stage 20. Honestly, that's pretty decent. 2251 was the final score. Died on wave 21. So that's a fun game. I'll link it in chat. If y'all want to play. It's good. It's on like a typing education website or something. But all right. Well, I think that's going to be it for me. This was a fun build. I enjoyed it, and I do like this board. I don't actually fully know what it costs, so I can't make a judgment on the value per se, but like I'm guessing it's under $300, possibly under $200, and I think it's really good. You'll play it next time we stream. Do it, Elvin. It'll be good. Well, thank you all for hanging out with me. That was a fun stream, honestly. It was a good vibe. Ended with some stressful moments, but I think they were fun. I'll be live again on Monday for sure. Possibly this weekend, but I'm not 100% sure about that. So I'll let you know. We got 6 viewers right now. Do we want to dip into somebody else's stream? Hammer Brothers live. XX Dubs is live. Maybe Hammer Brother? What's he doing right now? Wait. Did he just build the same board? No, he didn't. Iron 80 mil maxing. He's been live for 2 hours, but we can still hit him up. So let's do that. Hammer, brother. All right, as always, thanks for joining me. Here's the raid message and the sub raid message. And yeah, appreciate y'all. I will see y'all next time. Peace.
Is there any